You're watching The American on ESPN from the campus of the University of North Texas in Denton, where they light the clock tower green when the teams win. North Texas women's basketball has been the talk of campus, and they're searching to tie a program record with their 21st win. But they've got to go through the ECU Pirates to do it. Let's take a look at the conference standings right off the top. North Texas trailing leader Temple by just a half a game, or just one game at this point. But East Carolina at 8-7, they're not too far out of a top 4 seed and a double bye in the American Athletic Conference tournament. Welcome in courtside. I'm John Liddle, alongside former college coach Brian Burton. Great to have you with us as well. Brian, this is going to be a lot of fun tonight. These two teams have a lot to play for.
Yeah, that's the best part about this time of year. Everybody thinks about March Madness, but going into March Madness is the end of February, and everybody's playing for seeding. This will be an awesome one tonight.
Can't have great teams without great players, and there are a couple spotlight players to absolutely salivate over in this one.
Yeah, two of the best in the conference at different positions. Janae McNeil, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, leads the conference in scoring and steals. Meanwhile, Desiree Colonel is on a tear again at her last 6 home games, 17.8 points a game, almost a double-double. And here you see McNeil doing what she does best. She puts the ball in the hole, and she also plays the passing lanes in this matchup defense. One of the best at getting steals in the conference, and she can create her own shot. She is basically what you would call a walking bucket, John. Meanwhile, Desiree Colonel misses versatility. She's taken her second charge here recently. She's been challenged and responded from the coaching staff. She does it from the mid-range, from long range. She also gets assists. There you see the 3, stretching it. She misses energy and versatility for this Mean Green team.
And we'll be talking about her big day against UAB coming up. And there's Janae McNeil, the superstar for the ECU Pirates. Our keys to this game, Brian, what do you see for this matchup?
Yeah, two very similar type of teams. Really important game for both. For ECU, it's about feasting off turnovers in their matchup defense, being able to score off turnovers. They're one of the best in the country at that. And then they must have offensive glass dominance, get second chance points. Meanwhile, for North Texas, they must finish plays, whether it's on defense or offense. It's about the finish for them, and then focusing back on their culture and their process and not on just winning the game. The outcome will come.
This is only the second all-time meeting between the two teams. They just brushed each other in Conference USA about 10 years ago, and now they are rivals again. And you talk about offensive rebounding, how key it's going to be for ECU. That is Tatiana Weish laying one home for ECU. For North Texas, they're going with this starting lineup for the 16th straight game. Hardaway, Moore, Colonel, Duncan, and Lampkin. North Texas 10-2 at home this season, but they've lost their last 2 home games. Jocelyn Moore from the wing for 3 can't make it go. And this East Carolina Pirate defense is pretty unique under head coach Kim McNeil. Here's their starting lineup, led by Karina Gordon, the shooter, a freshman who's now at point guard, Kaya Miller, along with Janae McNeil, Mai Joyner, and Tatiana Weish. North Texas trying to give ECU a little of their own medicine with his zone press.
Yeah, Coach mentioned it in the interviews of prep. They don't necessarily like to be pressed. They have struggled because they have some of their best guards are out, so decision-making not always their strength.
North Texas and ECU, for that matter, scored a lot in the first half last time out. And Shamaria Duncan was a big part of that for North Texas against UAB. She's now knocked down 6 of her last 7 threes.
Yeah, she's a player that just steps up more and more for this Mean Green team in many ways. She's known as their best defender, but she has been crucial from 3. Thinking back to that South Florida game, she made those 2 big threes in the corner to win the game.
Great look for Kaya Miller, but that's over the top. Still an offensive rebound from Mai Joyner, who leads the conference in rebounding, almost 10 a game. The pull-up doesn't go for McNeil. Offensive rebound. Kaya Miller trying to go up inside, and her reverse layup is blocked. Gets it back, though, and she's fouled by Jocelyn Moore. And Kaya Miller, a player who's just playing hard as a freshman, doesn't really know what she's doing yet, says Coach McNeil, going to the line.
Well, one thing she knows what she's doing is playing hard and competing. That is the way that this championship culture has been built at ECU. Here you see Duncan against the matchup, being able to get an open corner 3. And this ECU team is just playing harder right now early in the game, the first few possessions. Just 2 minutes in, but already 4 offensive rebounds in that short amount of time. That is a sign of a focus and a tenacity on the glass. We mentioned they must have that offensive glass dominance, and so far that has been a huge key for them to be able to score.
ECU with a 10-point win at SMU on Saturday, and in that game they outscored SMU in second chance points 19-3. They had 19 offensive rebounds in that win.
Yeah, and again, that goes to that dominance. 19 offensive rebounds in any game. Here you see their rank in the conference AAC play, and they are just continuing to get better. They've been plagued with injuries. This team is one that had huge expectations. Coach said their best team starting the year that she's ever had. Had all 5 starters back from a team that won the conference tournament last year, and unfortunately the injuries have been a big part of not only some guards being out for the season, but also temporary injuries have also been tough for them.
Out of the corner, more over the top. This ECU team had a 3-game losing streak, but was able to win last time out against SMU, and maybe they're starting to find themselves even without some of those veteran guards. Another 3-point miss by Miller, and on the run, Lampkin going all the way to the glass, and she is fouled. Tamisha Lampkin taking it herself.
Yeah, the big play right there that probably is not going to even get noticed, but Danae McNeil picks up that first foul. So always gets tight when you get an early first foul, but great job pushing the break by Lampkin. Coach Burton and staff trust her to be able to make some of those decisions. They love her versatility, and if nothing else, she's just earned the right to be able to do a little bit of that because she does so much for this team.
Well, a big part of her huge year, which has been 15 points a game and 8 rebounds, Coach Burton says she's just in the best shape of her career right now. It's not even close.
Yeah, she loves to talk about that early game in the exhibition where it's like, okay, now I know why we ran as much as we did in boot camp. I can run all day, and she's been running all season, doing an awesome job.
Some struggles at the free throw line and an 0-of-2 trip there. Either team incredible at the charity stripe. ECU a little better, though, as this one's taken away by Ariana Hardaway, and Hardaway is fouled. She took it away from the freshman Karina Gordon, and more free throws for the Mean Green.
Yeah, this is a big part of this matchup, this point guard matchup. Great job by Hardaway. She's been playing some outstanding basketball here recently, but taking advantage of the freshman who's not a point guard. Coach talked about this, Coach McNeil, that she recruited her to be a shooter. She's a great off-the-ball shooter, but because of the injuries, she's had to translate into becoming a point guard. And there's growing pains that happen with that when it's not a natural position, and there still continues to be growing pains subtly for North Texas at the foul line.
Missing their first 3, but Hardaway knocks down the second one. As you mentioned, Hardaway's been playing really well, especially in assisted turnover ratio. 6-to-1 assisted turnover ratio over her last 4 games.
Yeah, she's a player that it's easy for fans not to maybe appreciate what her value is, but her defense on the ball and the way she distributes to everyone on the squad, so key for this Mean Green attack.
Desiree Colonel pulls away a big rebound, coming off another double-double last time out. Lampkin inside, another double-double machine. Good rotation to Hardaway, but it's knocked away out front. Bobby Smith on the run. A pick 6 for Smith.
Those are the plays that ECU lives on. Being able to create easy offense by getting steals and getting easy layups.
Another foul early on against ECU, but that's what this North Texas team makes you do. They make you foul them. However, it's a good defensive play by the Pirates.
Yeah, they just kind of get you sped up with the matchup. Again, you think it's man-to-man. It's not. It has man-to-man principles, but it is more of a matchup defense that is a 1-2-2. And it changes as the ball goes. They like to trap, they like to anticipate and get steals, and Coach Burton talked about if they can just take care of the ball, it takes away some of their offense because they feed so much off steals. And there you see a great feed. Speaking of feeds, Lampkin to Colonel. It's either been Colonel to Lampkin, Lampkin to Colonel almost all season long. Those two play so well together. Maybe
the best all-around post duo in the conference. We've gotten to see a little bit of everybody this season. Good no-look feed inside, and Joyner says we can do it too. What a feed to Tatiana Weiss for the reverse.
Yeah, and the first duo to have double-doubles in the game for ECU on the front line, and Mean Green wastes no time getting a transition mid-range. Duncan with another great pull-up.
Shamaria Duncan, at times, I mean, only 6 points a game, so is that bonus offense when she comes out and pops home her first couple shots?
Yeah, she's a player that's played in this league. She averaged almost 8 a game last year for Wichita State in the same conference, so she's just getting more and more confidence as it goes. And there you see an unfortunate turn of events, hopefully not an injury, as they've had so many injuries this season.
Tatiana Weish, who was out with a shoulder injury for a couple games, she's able to pop back up to her feet, but yeah, just lost her footing. Let's see what exactly happened here. Tatiana Weish.
Yeah, a talented player, a transfer from Florida. Yeah, just wide pivot on the fake spin and lost some of her footing, as you mentioned. And big-time transfer. She has a twin on the team. Coach has twins. I said, Coach, is that part of how you were able to recruit her? Because you were able to talk about you understanding what it means to lead some twins. And she said, no, we recruited her before she went to Florida, and they were able to get her to campus when the portal hit, and they are so excited about what those two bring to the table.
Tatiana and Talia Weish, one of 10 twin sister duos that are on Division I basketball teams this year across the entirety of D1. And so there's the sister, Talia Weish, right there. They're out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. As you mentioned, the transfers from Florida, they played a different role while with the Gators, and now being counted on a little bit more here at ECU.
Yeah, Coach wants them to score more. She doesn't want them just to rebound. They're so used to just rebounding and defending, kind of just getting out of the way and kicking it out. She said, we want you to be a scoring force, and Tatiana able to have a double-double just last game against SMU.
It's a dominant one. She's also a leader in blocks. Weish going to work, but coming up way short, and that will take us to a timeout. Good back and forth action. Two evenly matched teams, two tough teams, and on the other side, we'll talk about the historic day Desiree Colonel had in Birmingham. That's coming up next on ESPN.
And flashing back to the last game, Mean Green were on the hardwood against UAB on the road in a big game. Desiree Colonel has one of her best performances of the season. 7 assists, 0 turnovers. There you see her even getting tackled by the other team and wrapped up. And there you see the culture right there with Mish Lampkin going to her side and consoling her, getting her right. 24 points, 13 rebounds. Only one other Division I player since 2014 has had this stat line, 75% from the floor. 0 turnovers was the thing that Coach Burton was the most impressed by, and just her competitive will when it mattered most. Desiree Colonel has won over 100 games in her career, and she is on a mission to finish this thing out right with North Texas.
Yeah, I had to do a double take on that stat, but that is one other Division I player in the last 10 years has had that stat. Ravonna Campbell of UIC back in 2014. A unique game for Desiree Colonel. And coming in off the bench, Desiree Wooten on a backdoor cut against the, don't call it a zone, defense, and Wooten gets fouled.
Great pass on the cut. Good job there by Deani Robinson looking over the top. The backside of the matchup sometimes is a spot that you can be able to attack, but nothing easy against this defense. One of the best defenses in this conference. You're always kind of hesitant because you're concerned about turning the ball over. I know Coach McNeil talked about if her team was at full strength, they would have even more speed on the perimeter and even more basketball IQ to be able to make some of the steals that they normally are able to make. So their defense is not as strong as normal, but they are still one of the best in this conference.
Now Wooten hitting both foul shots. Now she's out there to defend hard on Bobby Smith. Also Kimora Jenkins in for the first time, a junior guard, getting more playing time because of the lack of depth at the guard spot. Only 8 to shoot as Danae McNeil goes to work. The leading scorer in this league. Off the jump stop, elevates, comes up short. Offensive rebound, though, by Tatiana Weish. And she loses it off to Wooten. North Texas running. Wooten, great look. Lampkin can't finish. Grabs her own. She won't miss that.
Yeah, awesome basketball right there. Defense leading the offense, playing in transition like they do so well and running the floor, playing off turnovers. We talked a lot about what ECU does off turnovers, but they also have a tendency to turn the ball over. North Texas feeds so well off of transition as well. Here you see a line change substitution. showing off their depth, even though they do have some injuries. Big when you can be able to make those kind of substitutions to get fresh bodies in the game, but North Texas starting to make a run. Here you see Wooten in transition, one of the best passers on this team, so much speed. She's played some of her best basketball, and Meech Lampkin cleaning up the offensive glass. 6-0 run for North Texas.
Desiree Wooten, the redshirt freshman, averaging 5 points, 3 rebounds. Good take by McNeil, trying to get ECU back on the board as North Texas is on a 6-0 run, and McNeil heads to the line.
Yeah, I thought with North Texas, when they were putting pressure on the ball and denying the wings, it made it really hard. Right there, to me, I think that Deani Robinson has to close the gap and show her numbers to McNeil as well. She's the best scorer in this conference. You can't let her have one-on-one opportunities to create like that. I think you got to always show bodies in front of her, but great job by McNeil getting to the line. One of the best in the conference at that as well.
82% at the line this season, second best in the league, and then she shoots a lot of volume as well. But another great look, more to Lampkin for another 2.
Yeah, great passing right now by North Texas, being able to distribute the rock, being able to really make quick decisions without having to dribble the ball a lot. That's what makes, so far, being an attack this defense been effective, is not over-dribbling, making quick decisions.
Quick find to my Joyner. She goes glass for 2. Joyner has been excellent in conference play, coming off a 15 and 12 effort at SMU.
Yeah, the highest rated recruit in ECU women's basketball history. Just a talented young lady.
Lampkin going to the bucket one more time, and rather Robinson getting that bucket, and North Texas continues to score. It's looking a lot like their start against UAB the other day.
Yeah, they're shooting 67% from the floor, 6 of 9. Really engaged on defense as well.
Long shot, no good from the mid-range. Duncan there for the board. North Texas running again. Lampkin on the way to the cup for 2.
Just running the floor so well. Number 24, doing it and doing it and doing it well. LL Cool J style, getting up the floor, continuing to get layups, and what a great job pushing in transition North Texas has done.
6 points for Lampkin. She's coming off a 25 and 10 effort at UAB. McNeil doesn't pull the trigger. And on the second guess, nearly has it picked. She does. Up to Robinson, ahead of the pack. North Texas doubling up ECU, and a timeout called by Kim McNeil.
Yeah, the defense has been what's getting it done for North Texas in this one so far. A much-needed timeout to regather the group for ECU. And here you see again transition, the assists being made. Lampkin running the floor on both these possessions. What a valuable asset. Not only to have a big that can score in the half court, but Coach McNeil talked about this. We're going to have to be great in transition defense because their bigs run the floor so well. Well, so far, they have not been able to stop Meech in transition.
And you get a taste of what North Texas and ECU's top players have done in conference play. When you get into those conference games, Brian, you feed the big dogs, right? Well, these are 3 of the best players in the conference.
Yeah, 3 players that easily should be in that conversation. If not an automatic first teamer, they should be in that conversation. It's hard to think of any of them not being on first team, but there are a lot of good players in this conference. But you saw McNeil was Defensive Player of the Year last year, preseason Player of the Year, led her team to an NCAA tournament. We haven't even touched on that part yet, just a special player. But this front line for North Texas, Coach Burton has said it all year. He thinks he has the best front line in the conference, and the numbers probably back him up on that.
McNeil trying to get going, but flat on that jumper. Offensive rebound by Weish again. And Tatiana Weish has been a difference maker on this road trip.
Yes, all about the offensive glass. Again, 6 offensive rebounds so far, another points off. Second chance points earned. And North Texas must clean up the offensive glass.
Colonel trapped on the wing. Finds Brackens, who's on for the first time. 10 to shoot it as Robinson swings it. Moore with only 5 to shoot. Robinson finally has to hoist against the shot clock, and it comes off.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there. That's what they want you to do, is hesitate against that defense.
And McNeil trying to get going. Danae McNeil, so good on the pull-up.
Got to be an attack off the dribble don't want to just stand and pass it around the perimeter and think that it is a zone. They want you to, on offense, you must attack and make them have to guard more than one player. Good job getting into the middle of the zone there, and an offensive rebound on the push-off.
This one is going on at North Texas and Jalen Mallard.
Here you see a replay of McNeil in transition, getting to her sweet spot. So effective when she's able to get to her mid-range, and hasn't shot it great from the floor in this one yet, 1 of 7, but needed to see that first field goal go down, and she did.
ECU started slow at SMU on Saturday. Kim McNeil called an early timeout. East Carolina started to make more of an effort defensively, and things really turned around. And this is way off the mark by Danae McNeil.
Well, they've already rebounded half of their misses. They've missed 12 shots. They've offensive rebounded 6 of them. So North Texas has done a good job on initial, but that's part of finishing plays in the keys. And there you see the finish on offense. Desiree Colonel getting to one of her favorite moves, that step through. She's so effective on.
McNeil can't get it off at the end of the first quarter. North Texas shoots 62% in the opening frame and leads East Carolina 22-14 at the end of 1. The 2024 American Women's Basketball Championship begins Saturday, March 9th at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. All games of the semifinals will air on ESPN+, while the championship game airs on ESPNU on Wednesday, March 13th. Hey, you don't have ESPN+? Sign up. ESPNplus.com/AAC. American fans, they gotta have it. Welcome back into Denton. Tamisha Lampkin, all kinds of fired up after her 6-point first quarter, but that doesn't tell the entirety of what she was about in that opening frame.
No, it doesn't. She's, again, just so effective running the floor, her presence on the offensive glass, and she did it without getting any fouls in that quarter, which is always a big deal. When you can keep Mish Lampkin and Desiree Colonel out of foul trouble, it puts a lot of pressure on other teams.
Colonel lofting one from the elbow. Lampkin there for the offensive rebound. Duncan, 10 toes to the rim, over the top. And the rebound tapped around, kept alive, and North Texas lives to fight another day.
Yeah, good job getting on the offensive glass this time, doing a little bit of what ECU's been doing, getting those second chance opportunities. Great hustle by the Mean Green.
Here's the deal. ECU is a great offensive rebounding team. They are a bad defensive rebounding team. More on those numbers in a moment as North Texas doesn't shoot the ball on the possession, and ECU stays with it defensively to pick up a turnover.
Yeah, great stop there. Just being able to be disciplined all the way through the possession. Hardaway has to be able to look for her own shot at times, especially when the shot clock is under 5. I was always taught that as a point guard. When it's under a certain point in the clock, you have to be able to make the play.
That's you.
Put pressure on the defense. I was smart enough to drive in and make them help and then kick it, but can't just pass it to a teammate at the last minute expecting them to save it. But great offense there out of the quarter for ECU.
Kaya Miller, Kim McNeil says she's a scorer. No, the numbers don't say it yet. That's what she's going to be in her career. More out of the corner. She's been off early, 0 of 3 from deep. In full flight, Danae McNeil. She wants to be player of the year in this league. Has a chip on her shoulder. Off the mark, but again, Weish is there. It opens up for her. Lampkin fouls her, and Tatiana Weish heads to the hole.
Yeah, just not great defense on the start of this quarter in transition in particular, and then on the glass again, continuing to get offensive rebounds. They now, again, continue to have over 50% of their misses they are getting back. That is the dominance we talked about that they need to stay in this game, and you can see why this young lady was at Florida. Her physical size and stature and strength, she's still getting more and more comfortable with her scoring ability, but she is such a presence on the glass. You see the 48% from the field on the season, averaging 6 points a game, and again, coming off of a great double-double just down the road at SMU last outing.
I know you're a guy that believes in second chances in life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, ECU's a team of second chances.
They are that.
I think so. 14.5 offensive rebounds per game. So you see that Coach Burton would love a challenge, a second look at that one. As Weish hits the first foul shot. Their 38% offensive rebound rate, that's top 20 in the nation. They outscored SMU in second chance points 19-4 on Saturday, and 2 more second chance points here for Tatiana Weish.
Yeah, again, great job of again, it's not pretty. They don't care about it being pretty, and Coach McNeil's talked about this. Again, they were picked last year. We haven't gotten into this magical run that they had, but picked last, number 11 in the American, put together an incredible run in the tournament to be able to cut down nets and go to the NCAAs, and they want to continue to build on that championship culture, and a lot of that has to do with the toughness in the paint.
And ECU was loaded for bear coming into the season. However, as the foul goes on Bobby Smith, the sophomore guard, they have lost multiple players to injury for the rest of the season.
Excuse me, real quick, John. This is the play that you have to make at the end of the shot clock when you get the shot clock violation. You have to put pressure on the defense to have to make a decision, and great job doing what she does best, anticipating and getting steals. She literally just sits back like a good cornerback, maybe Deion Sanders back in the day, and jumps the passing lane for an easy pick six.
And that gets her engaged in the game as well. She gets a play like that, and she knows, she gets that eye of the tiger, so to speak.
She does that, and also great move by Colonel on the isolation at the elbow. Could have went high-low, instead decides to drive herself. Great move, but the part about ECU's defense is when they do force those turnovers, it makes the offense a little bit more hesitant when they get the ball the next time. Big play to be able to respond there by Colonel.
Remember, East Carolina was down by 10. Got to within 2 moments ago, trying to get even closer. Joyner, baseline. A 2-point game again. My Joyner has 4.
Yeah, done a great job of getting back into this game. Had a really poor shooting first quarter, but they have been effective on offense this time in this quarter.
Duncan, comfortable out of the corner. Over the top, Colonel was there, and North Texas will have possession after another team offensive rebound. So explain this to me, Brian. How can a team be so good on the offensive glass? East Carolina's top 20 in the nation. But on defensive rebound rate, they are 8th worst in the nation at 61%.
Yeah, great question. And part of it is because of the matchup and because they end up in different positions. Great open look there by Hardaway. And some of it is just when you have a tenacity to go get it on the offensive glass and you struggle to score, you know that that's a way that you can get extra buckets. And McNeil's going to put them up at a high volume. And so when she does, you have 2 big bodies along with your guards crashing that can really be able to clean up some of those misses.
North Texas led by 10 at one point. They've gone a little cold here in the second quarter, holding on to a 2-point lead, and now a steal at the top by Bobby Smith. Dumps it off to Kaya Miller, and she'll head to the line trying to tie this game up.
Yeah, this is exactly what ECU does. As soon as you think they're out of the game, they get steals that ignite their offense. You're trying to pick apart this defense, and another careless turnover that leads to a foul on the other end. The good thing is she didn't give an and one or a wide open layup. Hardaway sprinted back, but a great job by ECU now with their 3rd steal of this quarter.
And a rare giveaway there for Ariana Hardaway, who only had 2 turnovers over her last 4 games for the starting point guard. Kaya Miller starting to gain confidence, though. She had 9 at SMU, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks in 25 minutes.
Yeah, and they're executing a game plan. We talked about what they needed to do in the open. They must create those turnovers, feast off of those, and they must dominate the offensive glass, and that is how they're staying in this game so far.
Remember, North Texas 10-5 in conference. They're tied for 2nd right now with Tulsa, just behind Temple. East Carolina at 8-7. They're trying to hunt down a 4 seed. Turnovers per game, and so this is the amount of times that these 2 teams actually force turnovers, and ECU forcing 18 a game.
Good job attacking there out of timeout. I think that's part, out of the baseline, out of bounds. That's part of what you have to do against this defense. You can't just think that it's a typical zone defense where you're just standing and passing it around and trying to get to the middle. You have to be able to attack this off the bounce and really look to put some pressure and make them have to collapse. Another foul drawn by North Texas. If they can get into the bonus, that's a big part of their formula. They weren't able to do it in the first quarter, but they must continue to be aggressive if they want to have success against this East Carolina defense. Otherwise, they get you watching, passing the ball around, kind of looking to pick it apart, and they love to jump those passing lanes.
Wooten a 2-for-2 trip for North Texas. Desiree Wooten now 4 of 4 at the line in the game and keeping North Texas just out in front of East Carolina. But Kim McNeil, head coach at ECU, said, hey, our two teams are very similar. She expected a close game. Offensive foul. Great job by Wooten to get to the spot as Mosley bodied in on her.
Yeah, big play by Wooten. She does all these little things. She sacrificed her body. She was set, took the contact, and was able to draw the foul, which now puts them into the bonus the rest of the game. So any foul going further will put them on the line.
It's 6 minutes to go here in the first half. That's a great point, Brian.
Yeah, there's a turnover there. Good job coming around. Could have maybe been a foul, but they're so aggressive to get those deflections and steals.
Another live ball giveaway. Weish going after another offensive rebound, but knocks it out. And North Texas has it back, clinging to a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, you definitely can see where if they had a full-strength team, and you feel bad for Coach McNeil because sometimes this is how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, but without having – 3 players out for the year. I mean, you look at this front line and Danae McNeil, and this is a talented basketball team.
Maddie Cleary can't hit her 3, but a second chance opportunity. Great feed. Colonel goes inside to Wooten.
Great job. Undersized Colonel is, but so relentless and tough. And I love the fact she gave it up. So unselfish. Hits the hot hand in Wooten. Now you got one of your teammates continuing to feel good about how she's playing, and good job again. Finishing plays. That was a big key for North Texas. They must finish plays on both sides.
Joyner facing up, doubled, kick out, 3-pointer. Kaya Miller, she's had a tough year shooting from outside. Another rebound for Colonel. North Texas running. Cleary to the cup, over the top. It stays with North Texas. North Texas had a 10-point lead near the end of the first quarter. East Carolina cut it down to 1. North Texas able to get a couple big buckets, including this one, the second chance opportunity to go up by 5. Tamisha Lampkin, what a year she's had as a senior. Maybe the most improved player in this conference. She's shown up early.
Yeah, she has, and she's done most of it in transition and on the offensive glass, using her motor to get extra opportunities for her teammates, running the floor, finishing at the rim. The question for Mish Lampkin is, can she get even better on the defensive rebounds? She only has 1. That's been a big key for ECU, is getting on the offensive glass. And then can she score in the half court? She's done it on the offensive glass. She's done it in transition. Can they get her some opportunities in the half court where she may be able to draw some fouls and get back to the line like we saw early on? Mean Green is in the bonus the rest of this last 4:50.
Well, the North Texas forwards, we talked about Desiree Colonel and Tamisha Lampkin. They've been getting double-doubles. I mean, piling up the double-doubles here lately. We talk about somebody being a double-double machine. Look at these last 6 games for Tamisha Lampkin.
Yeah, just a dominant force in this league, and the fact that you have 2 on the same team makes it even harder for opponents.
ECU had 2 players achieve a double-double in the same game for the first time since 2017. Earlier this week against SMU. North Texas has had it happen 4 times this year with Lampkin and Colonel, including the last 2 games. Only 5 to shoot it now. Wooten forced and somehow makes it. Desiree Wooten, a bucket.
Yeah, she has the ability to create a shot. They have to do more of that. I know I keep saying that, but you're kind of passing around thinking it's a normal zone. Coach would say it's not a zone. It's a matchup. That's why you're so confused. But great move there by Desiree, shifting, pulling up off 1 foot.
6-0 run. McNeil takes it into her own hands.
It's the second time I've said it, and she's done such a good job of knifing to the basket, creating one-on-one. She's not a player that you could guard with 1 defender. That's just the bottom line. So right here, you have to help in that gap both Diani and Wooten. And here you see Wooten on the offensive end in the shot clock. Give it to one of your guards who can create. Nice little 1-foot pull-up there by the freshman.
Wooten becomes the first player for North Texas with 2 fouls and has to hit the bench. And Danae McNeil with the 3-point play to give her 8. She's had at least 20 in the last 6 games. A little more pressure here for ECU. But where do you find the offense in the half-court set against this matchup?
I think you got to try to ball screen more. I think you're trying to pass around a little bit too much. You got to get the ball inside, but I think your guards, again, they have to create. Nothing has penetrated past the three-point line until just then. You have to do more than just passing on the perimeter.
And Duncan against the shot clock somehow makes it go.
Sometimes prayers are answered, John. That was at the end of the clock. I don't even know if she caught it clean, but she threw it up and right on time for the sharpshooter. As you mentioned earlier, she has been on fire in her last handful of games from three.
Yeah, came in 5 of her last 6, and in this game she's 2 of 4 from outside. McNeil on the handoff against Duncan, stepping in. Doesn't go. Good job by Hardaway to rebound, and she's fouled. Goes the other way to shoot 2.
Yeah, that's why that bonus is so important. Now she's shooting free throws, but here you see desperation, barely catches it, quick release, and nothing but the bottom of the net. Great defense by ECU, late contest, and she got it off in time. Got to give this Mean Green team credit. When they can continue to make threes, boy, it makes them even harder to guard.
And you saw in the background John Capolino saying that they're going to review at the next opportunity whether or not that shot counted. They're going to go back and look at it and make sure she got it off in time before the shot clock went off.
Yeah, as they should. Good job by this crew to be able to catch that, because it was definitely one of those that was really, really close.
So Hardaway grows the lead for North Texas. Out to 9 for now, as long as that three-pointer by Duncan is counted in the final box. But North Texas withstanding that early run. Now they're back in control. My Joyner loses it from behind. Colonel the steal. North Texas always wanting to push the pace. Deani Robinson, handoff. Lampkin blocked the first time, grabs her own miss. Robinson, good. Oh, in and out on that jumper. Man, some good offense, just didn't go for North Texas.
Yeah, good offense and good job being aggressive. Good job getting on the glass. Got multiple looks that you wanted. Great offensive possession. Good stand by ECU.
Another giveaway. Second straight turnover for the Pirates. Look at Tamisha Lampkin, just the tireless work on the glass. We'll get a look at that in a moment. But, man, she just keeps going after the offensive rebounds. And North Texas now with 9 offensive boards in the game. Hardaway cut off. Colonel on the move. Lampkin. This time she's fouled by Tatiana White.
But you see why that was created. Hardaway drove left, got all the way deep, kicked it back out. Then Colonel drove the closeout. That's how you have to attack this defense. You can't just pass the ball around the perimeter. And when you get to the inside, now it makes them have to make some decisions on where they're going to go with the ball. Here you see Lampkin gets blocked, gets the rebound again, tenacious. Gets a great look for Robinson, just barely rims out in the crowd. Let out a big sigh on that one. They wanted that one to drop.
I did too. I called it good. Got Talia Weish coming in for Tatiana Weish. Tatiana Weish has picked up her second foul. And Weish has had a great first half. 8 points, 5 rebounds.
Oh, she's an impressive player.
Oh, man. She really is. She really is. And that's a defensive loss here toward the end of the half. But I'll tell you, Jason Burton is so happy to have Tamisha Lampkin in his pocket to go to. Just how dominant she's been this season. That's 8 points for Tamisha Lampkin. North Texas has their largest lead. Their second double-digit advantage.
Yeah, without having a point guard, North Texas is kind of letting ECU off the hook a little bit, because there's been times where they've been wanting to get rid of the ball and they're not being denied on the wing, so it's an easy entry. Great fight on the glass, and loose ball goes to North Texas.
And Colonel nearly had another rebound. And how about this? You know, Danae McNeil, she could get it going at any time. And take a look at why she's down. Hopefully she's going to be all right. Ooh.
Looks like her ankle or her leg was just kind of trapped underneath as she fell. Clap for that, fans, because you always love to see when an injured player can stand up and walk on their own merit.
I was going to say about East Carolina offensively, right now they're shooting 36%, but then you've got Danae McNeil, who right now is only 3 of 13 from the floor. And that's coming off a game where she was absolutely money and incredibly efficient against SMU, and she's been playing efficiently lately. McNeil's shots just looked a little off today.
Yeah, North Texas has something to do with that. They've definitely thrown bodies at her. The times when she's gotten to the basket and gotten fouled, along with, if you think about the field goal she made when she got a steal for a layup. Such a talented player. At no point in time is she out of the game, but right now they have definitely kept her being very inefficient on offense.
She can go for 15 and a quarter just like this. And Lampkin fouled. More free throws as long as it's on the ball there. And 2 more free throws coming up for North Texas.
Yeah, you just see ECU trying to get a little more physical, trying to be a little more active defensively. Could have been some fouls maybe off the ball as well. As you saw Joyner and Colonel getting a little physical. But Meech Lampkin, they did call it for Colonel. Great job, John, pointing that one out. I didn't know they actually made the call. You could see all the contact on the replay, but that's the wrong person you want to foul. Not very often you see a forward shooting technical foul free throws. She is everything for this Mean Green team, and she talked about it coming over from Texas A&M Commerce. We want to rewrite North Texas basketball history, and boy, have they been doing that. Broke the record for regular season wins, most points in a game, most wins by a first-year head coach. The list goes on of the records that have been broken, and she has been the catalyst of all that.
20 wins this season, and 21 is the record for North Texas. That happened back in 2001, 2002 under Tina Slinker. Actually, when I was in school here, that was one of my first years in school here.
Oh, you're going back a little bit. I like this.
That's what I'm saying. Now I've lost all my hair. And
the new haircut looks great, by the way.
Thank you. But the point is, it's been quite a while. And another giveaway on East Carolina.
So real quick, that was one of those plays I was talking about, though, with not having a true point guard, and Gordon, that's not her position, because Duncan denied that, as you see on the replay, it makes it where she picks up her dribble, she wants to pass it to her, but it's not open. So that little bit of distance, closing that gap, makes it so much easier for you to put pressure on that defense.
And Duncan knew it. Robinson wanted a foul. There will be a foul right there, and free throws coming for Shamaria Duncan on Mosley's over-aggressiveness. That's the second on Morgan Mosley.
Yeah, this is part of what makes this North Texas team good, is because they may have missed a foul there. She may have fallen, but when you're in the bonus, when this team is in the bonus, they put so much extra pressure on having to defend them without fouling. And when they can knock down free throws, they're a dangerous squad.
What is it about this team? You know, they're number 7 right now in free throw attempts in the country at 23 a game. Why do they cause teams to foul so much?
Yeah, some of it is just about a mentality, right? So we talk about Coach McNeil and how her team's able to force turnovers and get on the offensive glass at such a high rate, because that's something that's emphasized for North Texas, similar to when Coach Burton was at Texas A&M Commerce. They were number 1 in the country in Division II for free throws attempted. Here they are translating to North Texas. Same kind of makeup and identity as a staff. They are 7 in the country, which is really elite, thinking about all the teams in the country. 300-something teams, and you're number in the top 10 of any category. That's really impressive.
Shamaria Duncan with 9 points, and she sits down. Gets a little rest here toward the end of the half. North Texas opening up a 14-point lead on East Carolina. Only the second ever matchup between the two. Stepping to her left, Miller, way over the top on the 3. I want to get your thought on something.
Yeah, please. North
Texas right now 10-5 in the conference, 1 game behind Temple and tied with Tulsa for second in the league right now. You know, how do you play this out for North Texas? You're not in control of your own destiny when it comes to winning the conference anymore. That's got to be frustrating on one end, but still a lot of your goals are out in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually asked Coach Burton that pregame about that very thing, which is, you know, controlling what you can control, what's in front of you. And they really want to focus, as we talked about in the open, on their culture and the process. Don't focus so much on the outcomes. The outcomes will come when you're doing things right. He thought this team lost a couple games because they did not have it tightened up on the culture. And speaking of tightened up, we might have a T here from the bench on East Carolina.
Well, that's exactly right. Kim McNeil, the head coach at ECU, none too pleased with the foul disparity right now. There have been 12 fouls called on ECU, 7 called on North Texas. Her superstar just went to the basket, took some contact, didn't get the benefit of the doubt, and as North Texas brought it up, you saw Kim McNeil get teed up.
Yeah, you got to fight for your player. You have, again, the leading scorer in the conference, the preseason player of the year, the defensive player of the year last year, the best free throw shooter percentage-wise in the league, and she's having a tough game. So when she has an opportunity at the rim, you want to be able to earn the benefit of the doubt, thinking that she got fouled. And Coach McNeil doing exactly what good coaches do. They fight for their players, and I don't know that she was wrong on that one. Apparently the refs didn't think she was right.
Deanna Robinson getting the 2 free throws here. No foul called on Hardaway.
Yep, she initiated some of the contact there, though. There was contact. She initiated some of it. Could have been called, but probably a good no call at the same time. And I love the move by Coach Burton to let Deanna Robinson shoot the free throws this time. Hasn't maybe had as much scoring output as she's had in the past few games. She had a 6-game tear. She was averaging about 18, and good job there getting at least one of the free throws.
And Colonel goes into a lunge awkwardly, trying to get her back up to her feet. And this is going to be a travel, obviously. It was a little contact here.
Yep, was some contact, but sometimes when you're making a point to the refs, you almost get the next call after that. Usually when a technical foul happens, hopefully Desiree Colonel is not shaking up too bad. 7 seconds left to end the half.
Kind of held that groin area. At the end of the half, Karina Gordon, a deep 2, and she fills it up. So ECU gets the final bucket to break an 11-0 North Texas run over the last 3.5 minutes. But the Pirates find themselves in a hole to the North Texas Mean Green, who have been oh so good this season in the friendly confines of the fabulous Super Pit. It's an American Conference clash. More next at halftime on ESPN. 41-28 at the half. And, of course, these two teams have an opportunity maybe even to meet one more time this season in Fort Worth. Here's the AAC tournament bracket if the season ended today. And the top 4 seeds, if you turn your attention right to the middle of your screen, my friend, that is where you will find the teams 1, 2, 3, and 4 that get the double bye. So huge. Because if you're in the bottom of this league, you got to win 5 games. If you're in that next level, you got to win 4. If you're in the top 4, you only have to win 3.
Yeah, and if you notice, the first round is not listed because those teams don't have a bye. So
right.
At least you can get a double bye, and then East Carolina is fighting to get in that place where they can possibly get a bye like number 5 or number 6 that looks to play the next team. So, yeah, it's big to be able to get playoff seeding. Matchups so important. But, man, if you can just not play and advance, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, ECU knows a thing or two about advancing.
Yes, they do.
In the conference tournament. They went all the way to the championship game last year. A late and one by Mai Joyner put them ahead. Some big defensive plays late last year. And in a defensive battle, the Pirates prevailed, going from picked 11th to winning the thing in Fort Worth.
Yeah, just an incredible story. One of the stories that anybody could draw inspiration from. When you're picked last in life or you're picked down and out and you can turn around and win a championship and say, hey, we knew we could do it. Coach talked about how hard it is. She said you have no idea what that moment meant, how much we had to put into that. For years, there was a dark cloud over this ECU program, and to be able to put all that work in for those years and have that moment was truly special.
Now, ECU starting the second half is in a hole to North Texas at down by 13, but that's exactly what they needed to get Danae McNeil going. She was only 3 of 14 from the field in the opening half. And now they're pressuring. Duncan in the corner, a timeout taken by Jason Burton. So just 21 seconds into the second half, we've got our first step away of the second half. So East Carolina starts exactly like they needed to. Bucket and forcing a North Texas timeout. We'll see you on the other side.
And some of the players that had an impact on the first half, Shamaria Duncan for North Texas, making it rain from 3, also doing it again on this possession at the buzzer, stretching the defense and also doing a good job defensively. And here you see misses offensive rebounds, putbacks, had a tied career high, 13 rebounds last time out against SMU, 6 offensive rebounds in that one. There you see her doing it again on the offensive glass. Mrs. White and Mrs. Duncan, both impacting their teams. Not at the top of the scout report per se, but both of them have made a big imprint on the first half. And here's some of the first half stats, John.
Coach McNeil talked about how big rebounding would be and how big the points in the paint battle would be. North Texas won both of those in the first half. North Texas had to call a timeout after that first bucket by ECU. An 11-point lead still for North Texas. Only 10 on the shot clock. Nice find to Colonel. Always willing to make the extra pass. Lampkin goes all the way underneath for two.
Yeah, great finish. Great interior passing again. Attacking the backside of the zone. Good offense by Mean Green.
And a good response. It's McNeil right back up the floor. Challenged late, misses left. And another rebound by Colonel. Hardaway drives baseline. Great ball fake, but comes up short. And Joyner starts the break for ECU.
Transition's been good in North Texas. Good job there getting the stop. Good. I'm sure if you're a Mean Green fan, seeing Hardaway take a shot at the rim, and there you see McNeil trying to get a three behind the ball screen. Not something she does best. She talked about she really has worked on that in her offseason, being able to stretch it more from three, and another offensive rebound by East Carolina. There you see the over the top of the zone. Great pass. Desiree Colonel so good at carving defenses up with her passing. And speaking of passing, ECU gets a great baseline out of bounds play to Joyner in the paint.
Joyner's been working on her game early in the mornings the last 3 or 4 weeks, Kim McNeil said, and that's really paying off. In the middle of that matchup, Hardaway trying to go to work against the bigger Weish. Now here's Lampkin. All the way underneath. Moving it well. Duncan, Colonel, Lampkin. Shot no good, but great movement.
Yeah, great ball movement. They do have the size and length inside that makes it really hard on you.
Blocking foul against Hardaway as she was trying to draw the charge.
Yeah, and I think actually Miller had turned it over before she attempted the charge. Good attempt by Hardaway, and good job putting pressure on the paint by Miller. Again, good ball movement. It's just the length at the rim changes shots. One of the better shot blocking teams in this conference, over 4 a game.
Tough to adjust a shot when it's Tamisha Lampkins. Remember, she's 4th in the country in field goal percentage at 64%.
And everyone that's around her is playing at a Power 5 conference. That shows the ability of this young lady.
Catch and shoot three by Miller out front. And Miller makes one for the first time in weeks.
Yeah, good job that time. Inside out three. It came from the inside of the paint and kicked out. Those are the highest percentage threes you can get.
There are the numbers we talked about. Beers, Betts, and Holmes, the only better players when it comes to field goal percentage, as Lampkin misses a tough one against Joyner.
Yeah, good job taking her time and stepping through. Good defense. Shows how impactful these young ladies are inside with their length, and a missed steal opportunity capitalized by Joyner, and ECU continues their run out of the half.
Yeah, they're never out of a game.
No,
with
never.
The pressure defense that they play, the way they can create turnovers, the way they're a great offensive rebounding team. 7-0 run, it's a 6-point game.
Yeah, 9-2 winning this half, and like you said, 7-0 run, and made their last 3 field goals. And North Texas still struggling to attack this matchup. Just haven't quite figured out the gaps. Most of their offense came on offensive rebounds and transition, and good job with the inside-out three, as we mentioned. ECU playing some awesome basketball, responding at the half.
Only 5 to shoot now for Robinson. Has to go through 2, loses it off her foot. It's a breakout the other way, and an easy deuce for My Joyner, a 4-point game.
Yeah, you can't quit on the play on those plays. I know she wanted to split the trap or split the defense. Good job again by ECU, just doing what they do, staying steady, continuing to pursue, and be relentless, getting another turnover for a touchdown. They would be a really good football team, by the way.
They would be. Of course, I met McNeil on this bucket for East Carolina to give her 12.
Yeah.
I think she's got a future in flag football if this basketball thing doesn't work out, Danae McNeil. Or she can go full tackle, maybe some WNFC or something like that.
I think she wants a future in the WNBA, the way she plays.
Why not?
as good as she is, she could definitely have a future in many pro sports.
See how North Texas's offense does here. It's a 9-0 run for East Carolina to get right back in it. Wooten on for the first time in the second half. She had a great first half. Wooten off to the left, and there is a holding foul on the rebound. Talia Weiss used her arms to block out Desiree Colonel, not let the pesky Colonel get around.
Yeah, good job crashing the glass by Colonel, and you see the physicality in this game. She's pursuing the ball, and they call a foul away from it.
Colonel underneath, off the mark. Offensive rebound, Lampkin. Contact, but no call again. And East Carolina tries to grow their run. It's 9-0 right now.
Yeah, just outstanding defense. Really struggling to find a rhythm, North Texas is, and must get some stops and try to play in transition where they play their best basketball.
More misses inside. Now Robinson trying to break the run. Robinson off the glass and no. A 2-on-3, and she doesn't even care. Miller takes it to the hole, but Colonel easily rebounds the miss. Control break. Wooten ducking. Power dribble. Lampkin can't finish. Colonel, another offensive rebound, and she touches it in.
Just need a little bit of persistence, a little bit of willpower. Doesn't have to be pretty, but North Texas with a much-needed basket. Again, transition is where they have been so effective in the first half. Have to find a way to attack this matchup defense, but good response on that possession, and followed by another one by Miller. She is getting into a groove.
9 points in back-to-back games for Kaya Miller, back to a 4-point game. By the way, Desiree Colonel has a double-double, her 10th of the year, third in as many games. We've got a long time to go in this one.
Yeah. Again, East Carolina's done a good job making it disruptive.
Duncan out of the corner. A miss means a long rebound. McNeil, 2-on-1. Dumps it off. Layup good. 2-point game. Timeout. ECU has come back from a 13-point halftime deficit to make it a 2-point game. And Kaya Miller has been a big part of the effort.
Yeah, and just look at McNeil in transition. This is one of the areas she continues to get better, dropping dimes for buckets.
To get where ECU wants to go, Danae McNeil's got to be big down the stretch of this season, and she's shown up in the third quarter.
Yeah, she showed up and showed up big. Came out with the first bucket to start on the pull-up. Here you see the transition layup herself. On another possession, she gets a transition assist right before this last timeout. And the defense by ECU has led to offense. They are shooting 58% in the second half. They are also holding North Texas to 18%, just one of their last 10 field goals. They are on a 13-2 run and playing outstanding basketball, and a team that is on a mission. As we know what they did last March, they feel March is right around the corner, and they're starting to ball out again.
They ran through the conference tournament to pick up a championship. They were picked right at the end of the league, ended up finishing near the top, and then doing what they needed to do to make the NCAA tournament. The culmination of 4 very hard-fought years for Kim McNeil and Corey McNeil. A runner in the lane goes for Desiree Wooten. She has hit some big shots in this game.
Yeah, I think she's a big key going forward because she's one of the guards on the team that can create off the bounce for her own shot. Similar to you see McNeil doing right there. Just too easy for a player of that caliber. She's continued to get easy mid-range, uncontested shots. People continue to go under screens. North Texas has to increase their defensive intensity. Meanwhile, McNeil, she's going to keep her foot on the gas.
Yeah, McNeil has a chip on her shoulder this year, looking to be the player of the year in this league. Colonel looking high-low. Instead drives, goes to the left hand for the very smooth finish.
Yeah, and another player that can play one-on-one. They have to keep getting it to her at the elbow and flattening out to where she can operate one-on-one.
They have a fight to the finish today. Danae McNeil hitting another bucket to give her 16.
Yeah, the problem is when you let a scorer like that see the ball go in a few times, she starts to get in a groove, and she's just too comfortable right now. She has too much space, too good of a player. She is really giving her team a lift in this second half. that inspiring performance that you expect a player of her caliber to do.
She had 8 in the first half, 8 in the third quarter already. Another later shot clock issue here. Colonel inside, blocked the first time, looking to go somewhere with it, but drags the pivot foot for the turnover. That's number 10 on the mean green tonight.
Yeah, I like that she took the ownership this time. Coach Burton talked about the culture and cleaning some of that up. She's taking ownership instead of wanting to blame the ref, but just you cannot get stuck on the screen like that. Great patience by McNeil. Here you see her just taking her time in a groove, and good job offensively by one of the best players in the league.
But as we come back to live play, North Texas picks up a live ball turnover. Desiree Colonel, who just turned it over, finds Wooten, backdoor for 2.
Great pass, and Wooten continues to be the X factor in this game, doing it in all facets on the offensive end. Looks to take a charge on the defensive end. They did not see it.
And Colonel's 11th assist over the last 2 games. Three-pointer over the top on the rebound. It's a tie-up and North Texas basketball.
Yeah, good job on the glass by Lampkin. Those are the defensive rebounds you have to fight for. And look at the passing ability again from Desiree Colonel, and Wooten continuing to hide behind that defense in that matchup to be able to get some easy baskets. Big response here by North Texas, being that ECU really has been by far the most inspired team out of the half.
Colonel has a dozen. Her career high is 14. Did that on the road at Montana State, one of the rare December losses for North Texas. Team Green trying to hold on to a 4-point advantage. Wooten, nice no-look feed. Lampkin, adjustment, can't hit, grabs her own miss, but throws it away.
Yeah, great passing again. I can't say enough about Wooten. She is a player that can attack, and she has a feel for not only finishing at the rim and scoring in mid-range, but she is a great passer. That was a great dime inside to Lampkin. Lampkin having to finish over linked. Didn't finish as high a percentage as she normally does. And there you see Wooten again. She is everywhere. Steal, bucket, and another great run here by number 3 to lead her team. Boy, is she playing well, John.
How has she changed the game? She has tied her career high with 14. McNeil gets a bucket back, though, for ECU.
Yeah, great job not wasting any time there by McNeil, getting by the defender, getting an easy bucket.
Colonel, 3rd turnover of the game after not turning it over at all at Birmingham on Saturday. But this 3rd quarter has belonged to Desiree Wooten.
Yeah, just so much speed, good deflection. Shadeja Brackens gets the assist. But I love how ECU pushed it right after that. You're looking at 2 of the best coaches in this league be able to go toe-to-toe. Coaches that have done it at a lower level. Coach McNeil said, Coach Burton reminds me of myself and his team. They were picked lower at the conference just like we were. He's also coached at a lower major Division I school and had success. And both teams are athletic and do it in the paint. And speaking of, Joyner with another easy, soft touch hook shot.
ECU trying to give North Texas their 3rd straight home loss. The Mean Green, meanwhile, trying to tie their all-time single-season record for wins. They had 21 back in 2001-2002. Brackens, ball fake. Finds Hardaway. 13 to shoot. Wraps it around inside Lampkin, and she is tied up, going up. Way to stay with it for Talia Weish.
This is what's hard about playing against this East Carolina team is they do have so much size and length. I mean, so much height on the back line. Great job by Hardaway getting to the paint, but Joyner doing one of the things she does best, contesting in the paint.
They can tie or take the lead. How about a lead at the free throw line for Danae McNeil as she's fouled by Desiree Wooten, and Danae McNeil will shoot 3. If she makes them all, East Carolina will go in front.
Yeah, she's the leading #1 free throw percentage shooter in the conference, so I would bet she probably makes all 3, but that's one of those where Desiree Wooten had a tenacity, but Desiree Colonel did not. She was giving her room, and I might have done the broadcaster's jinx there. McNeil misses the first one, but yeah, Desiree Colonel kind of backing up, giving her space, and Wooten wanted to try to get the block. Maybe not the smartest of plays, but apparently the ball thinks differently.
Youthful exuberance, I would say, for Desiree Wooten, the redshirt freshman, to pick up the foul on the hand.
Yeah, her energy. If you could put it in a bottle and sell it, you'd make a lot of money from that energy that she possesses. You got to love that kind of passion from a freshman.
Yeah, wouldn't have to go to 7-Eleven for energy drinks anymore, that's for sure. McNeil goes 1 for 3. She's got 19. Certainly not satisfied with that effort at the line as her team still trails by 1. North Texas can take the final shot of the third quarter as Shamaria Duncan, the senior guard, the transfer from Wichita State, is back in for Brackens.
Yeah, what a third quarter by East Carolina. Mean Green needs to try to see if they can end this with one good shot, but boy, has East Carolina been awesome in the third quarter. Just absolutely sensational. 65% from the field, meanwhile holding North Texas at 35%.
6 seconds left in the quarter. Duncan fakes a pass, makes a drive, gives it away. Kaya Miller cannot get it off in time, and East Carolina closes down the North Texas lead by doubling up the Mean Green 24-12 in the third. North Texas somehow in front, though, still, thanks to the redshirt freshman Desiree Wooten. Anybody's game in Denton as we go to the fourth quarter. Returning home to face the AAC's top-ranked squad, and the Temple Owls catch the action Sunday, March 3rd, 1 o'clock Central on ESPN+. Meanwhile, the Mean Green make a trip to Houston to take on the Rice Owls for the first time this season on Saturday. This is a big-time rivalry, March 2nd at 2 p.m. Central on ESPN+ and the ESPN app. That one will be big in the standings. Jason Burton's team just a game behind Temple for first place in this league, tied with Tulsa at 10-5. East Carolina, after dropping 3 in a row, trying to make it back-to-back wins on their Texas two-step. They beat SMU to go to 8-7 in the league on Saturday. Can they pick up the win on North Texas, trailing by only 1 as we go to the fourth quarter? My man Brian Burton, I'm John Liddle, our entire ESPN crew along. This is going to be a fun finish. Hardaway for North Texas. Gives it up to Wooten, 10 on the shot clock. Mean Green in a deep shot clock situation again. Only 5 for Colonel with 4. Fights up, never hit the rim. And East Carolina can take the lead.
Yeah, good job trying to go underneath, and good defense again by Carolina. Doing a good job walling up and making it tough.
Forcing North Texas to 33% shooting in the second half. A little bit disjointed there as Talia Weiss skies it over the head of Maya Joyner, who had fairly good post position down low.
Yeah, it's going to come down to defense in this one. I think both teams are two of the better defensive teams in this league. Both teams have had turnover struggles throughout the year at times. Whoever can take care of the ball more, as you see back-to-back turnovers almost, comes up with it.
Hardaway cutting, handing, and in for Lampkin. Tamisha Lampkin puts North Texas up by 3.
Yeah, the turnovers in the defense, it's going to come down to that. Both these teams so similar in many ways in how they like to play, and both these coaches so good at creating culture for their teams, and you got a jump ball. Stays with ECU, and here you see again the penetration is how this is able to happen. This is a loose ball. It's not pretty, but you see Hardaway attacks the paint and then forces help. That's how you get the easy buckets. When you're standing behind the three-point line, you're not going to be able to score very effectively against this defense. They're just too good.
Kim McNeil said, we match up pretty well with North Texas. We think, we're pretty similar. A tough-minded team, kind of like Charlotte as well. Off the glass, it does not go for Danae McNeil, the preseason player of the year. Doesn't draw iron either. And with 5 to shoot it, the Pirates inbound baseline.
I mean, you look at this front line, the biggest, the 2 posts and McNeil. I mean, these are high major transfers or prospects. There's a reason why they're so good on the glass. And great defense again by Desiree Wooten. Can't say enough about the redshirt freshman. She's been an absolute difference maker in this game on defense and on offense, John.
Well, she's got a career-high tying 14, plus what she's doing on the defensive end. North Texas by 3. North Texas has lost their last 2 home games, both in heartbreaking fashion. Colonel fires through inside. She's such a tough player.
Yeah, and they're not going to quit going inside. They're too good in there, and two of the highest percentage shooters in the conference. Good job attacking that time by Colonel and finishing.
14 for Desiree Colonel. Again, she's got her 10th double-double of the season tonight.
That's one of those plays that Duncan just letting her catch it a little too easy, in my opinion. Too good of a player. You have to deny her touches. And that's why I say that. She gets hit on the shot. Stop letting her catch the ball so easily. You're an elite defender. Take the challenge of not letting her catch it because they don't have point guard play to be able to create without the ball in their hands. Too easy of a catch, and here you see a late contest and gets hit. And again, she's one of the best in this league. Coach McNeil got to Tech early in this game. We talked about how important it is, fight for your player. Coach is doing what her job is to do, and now you see she's getting the calls that she wasn't getting in the first half. So good job there by Coach McNeil setting the tone even with the referees.
Danae McNeil knocks down both. She's got 7 straight 20-plus point games. North Texas trying to hang on. They had a fourth-quarter lead against UTSA, but then Jordan Jenkins happened. UTSA came back to win. Then they lost in overtime, heartbreaking fashion, to Charlotte. And Duncan overshoots Hardaway. An unforced error on North Texas.
Yeah, and again, you have to – I can't say it enough. You can't just pass around the perimeter. It's good they got it to the corner, but at some point you have to attack this defense and not just try to pass it around the perimeter. My
Joyner facing up, spinning. Ooh, what a shot by Joyner to go into double figures with 12. All the way up the floor, Wooten has a career high.
Big time pass by Hardaway, and Wooten continues to do. It's like McNeil versus Wooten in some ways because both players keep stepping up for their team. Even though My Joyner had the beautiful hook shot, both those guards have really led the way for both these squads.
Wooten getting after it defensively, but in the process, she picks up her 4th foul.
I mean, this is just a big-time move right here. Spin move, soft touch. Cannot coach that.
Joyner's been working those mornings alongside Danae McNeil, Morgan Mosley, some of the leaders on this team, and Kim McNeil says you can see it in Joyner's game. She's getting better and better as the season's gone on.
Yeah, she's been efficient tonight, really on the offensive end and the defensive end. Just one of the best players in this league, and one reason why they were able to get to that tournament last year was because of her big-time play.
3 could tie it. McNeil deep 2, contested over the top. North Texas ball.
Jacqueline Moore with good defense that time, not giving McNeil as much space. She's a player that can create space. She likes to have space, and when she has it, she's pulling up. Good job by Jacqueline Moore responding off the bench with Desiree Wooten having 4 fouls.
59-56. North Texas in front. Moore in the middle of that zone. Hits her first bucket of the game, and what a time for it. North Texas swings in front by 5.
Yeah, she's so good in the mid-range. Good job by the coaching staff being able to get her in the middle of the paint to her sweet spot.
Knock away by Moore, nearly an over and back.
John, I know I've said this a lot, but she let her catch it again. You cannot let a good player of that caliber catch the ball that easily.
Nice find. Off the glass, good, and 1.
Big time pass, big time
Tatiana Weish, the foul on Tamisha Lampkin.
Yeah, I couldn't even hold back on that one, John. Sorry about that. That was awesome of a pass. Great job just attacking on the one-on-one, going baseline, forces the help in a late call, but the right call because she did get fouled on that one. And again, this front line duo, the size, the strength, the length, the skill, I mean, this team is not a team you're going to want to see in the tournament, especially with their experience, but they are playing some great basketball. Even though they are shorthanded, their front line is so good, along with McNeil. They're a problem.
Both teams making big plays down the final stretch. More in the middle, wrap around, looking for Lampkin, too strong.
Good idea, but sometimes the good ideas you got to go shoot that. I think that's what Coach Burton was telling Jacqueline Moore. You just made one right there. Look to score it. Here you see Jamie Mallard coming in. Meanwhile, I love what ECU has done the past few times offensively. Get the ball into Joyner. If it's going to be one-on-one, get the ball into Joyner, play from there because everyone's focused so much on McNeil. play on the inside if you can. North Texas showing a little bit of zone.
This one back over the head of Karina Gordon. Still 15 to shoot. North Texas's largest lead was 15. ECU trying to tie it for the first time since early in the first half. McNeil for the tie, rolls off, and on the offside, Hardaway comes down with a tough rebound, looking to run. Hardaway ducks, head fake, comes up short.
Good idea. Good job pushing the pace.
Another big rebound for Tatiana Weish.
Yeah, I was about to say the same team. What a grown woman rebound that just was. And a big stop.
Three-pointer for the lead. Rolls out for Karina Gordon. Gordon, an outstanding shooter, leading the team in threes this season. Lampkin fouled from behind. It's on Tatiana Weish, who picks up her fourth. North Texas led by as many as 15 points in this game. But the ECU Pirates are a team that knows how to get it done in crunch time. Can the Pirates do it? We'll find out next. Welcome back into Denton. A beautiful night. University of North Texas trying to hold off East Carolina in only the second ever matchup between some of the top teams in the American Athletic Conference. 4:40 to play, a 2-point game, and it means so much to both of these teams. North Texas trying to chase down Temple to cut down some nets in the regular season. And you see East Carolina at 8-7, only a half game behind UAB for that fourth spot. And remember, the top four get a double bye in the conference tournament. That makes this final 4:40 huge here in Denton. North Texas ball, 24 to shoot, out of the timeout, Duncan to inbound. As the Mean Green look to execute on the offensive end late at home. They've lost two straight games close at home. A kick ball here to put 20 on the shot clock, as North Texas will get Desiree Colonel back in. Jalen Mallard taking a seat. With Brian Burton and our entire crew, I'm John Liddle. Top-notch American Athletic Conference basketball game.
Just got to play with some pace here. A lot of thinking, a lot of slow motion.
And a foul, a bailout one at that, on Karina Gordon.
Yeah, they needed that foul. North Texas is, again, East Carolina's done a good job defensively. This is what they want to do. North Texas has made 4 of their last 5 field goals, but in the meantime, they're struggling to kind of get into something with some rhythm here. See what they do here now.
Jacqueline Moore, Lampkin high post, nobody open, so Lampkin goes to work. Hardaway dives, back to Lampkin, hanging, no good. Great contest by Talia Weish. ECU can tie or take the lead.
Yeah, you can't expect that you're going to get fouled. You have to go in there to make the basket. Great job on the offense, getting an open look. Unfortunately, not able to connect. Mean Green in transition.
Kamora Jenkins misses over the top. North Texas has a chance to build on the 2-point advantage. Desiree Colonel, up and under. Classic move, but comes up short against Joyner. Here come the Pirates again. A chance to tie or lead. McNeil loses it. It's on the ground, and a foul call.
Got to come up with loose balls. Good job by East Carolina on the 50-50 play. I know we've talked a lot about the Twins and the impact that they've made in transferring over from Florida. And you can just see always having that size and that physicality. Good job by Jacqueline Moore to help, but you got to come up with that loose ball, and ECU finds a way. That's what these games are about. It's that small of a margin, those 50-50 plays. Who wants it more? Who's getting on the floor? Who's first to the floor to come up with those plays?
The foul on Ariana Hardaway, that is her third, but team foul number 4. Now ECU is in the bonus from here on out. ECU outscoring North Texas 24-12 in the third. It's been a tighter fourth. My Joyner ties it up with a solid move to the hoop.
Too easy, too easy, too easy. She is so good. The one-on-one coverage, got to have some help or some more resistance. Good job by ECU executing.
That is our first tie of the game. Great ball movement, though. North Texas, the lead back, thanks to Tamisha Lampkin.
And you know who started that play? Desiree Wooten getting behind the zone again. Great pass to hit her. She hits Colonel. Colonel hits Tamisha Lampkin. And we have a ball game in the fourth quarter.
2.5 to go.
Good job crowding that time. Cannot leave one-on-one coverage with a player of her ability.
Joyner outside. Karina Gordon for the lead. Way over the top. Wooten there on the rebound.
A big contest there by Desiree Colonel to get out there to contest that open three.
ECU only 1 of 11 from 3. And another foul on ECU, their third of the quarter.
Yeah, here you see the one-on-one coverage just too easy. She's a really dominant player on the inside. And here you see on the other side, the pass over the top, Wooten going behind, and the interior passing again for North Texas, paying dividends. 5th
assist for Colonel, who has 14 points and 13 rebounds. 2 minutes to go. North Texas looking for that important 2-possession lead. Another kick ball on ECU, and it will stay with the Mean Green. You know, I find it interesting, earlier in the season, earlier in the conference season, the closing lineup for Jason Burton was having Deani Robinson at point guard. Right now, Hardaway is the point, and Danae McNeil takes it away for ECU, the conference leader in steals.
Another steal, really poor inbounds pass that time, and good job taking advantage.
3-pointer for the lead. Ring it up for Kaya Miller. Her second of the game, and the Pirates have come all the way back for their first lead since early on.
Yeah, just well-earned basketball. Doing it from defense, get another steal. They've made it hard on North Texas this entire half. They have not been able to get comfortable into a rhythm.
Mean Green offense looks moderately confused. Lampkin trying to get big inside. Nearly travels. 5 to shoot. Skip pass. Duncan, nowhere to go. Duncan, short corner, comes up short. ECU the lead in the ball.
1 minute left in this game. It is a possession ball game. All about getting stops, finishing plays with rebounds, and players making plays at this time of the game.
Timeout called by Kim McNeil. She has 1 left. Here's the shot that put the Pirates ahead by the freshman from Woodbridge, Virginia, Kaya Miller. With the game of her young career so far, she has tied her career high with 14.
Yeah, just good basketball. Again, being able to get the ball exactly where you need it with a wide open look, and a young player stepping up in big-time minutes in a big-time moment in her career. No bigger shot she's made so far than that one. And they've earned it from that defensive stop. Danae McNeil hasn't had the best field goal percentage shooting game. She has 21 points. She has another steal that she got on that inbounds play. Meanwhile, North Texas still trying to find a way to attack this matchup defense. They've struggled to do so. They're not in the bonus, so no foul puts them on the line unless it's a shooting foul. Right here, I think something with more action and more movement to be able to, again, be on the aggressive. Maybe that high post attack that they were getting with Desiree Colonel on some isolation. Desiree Wooten's been a big key. But again, to me, they must get 2 feet in the paint with the ball and then play from there.
What about for ECU? They've got 13 to shoot it and the ball.
Yeah, ECU, this is a big offensive possession. I think more than anything, the offensive rebound is as big as anything. Can they get another offensive rebound opportunity? I believe they should go the ball with McNeil having the ball in her hands. And if you're North Texas, must, again, I've said it all game, you must deny her some touches. Look like they're going to show zone. So the biggest thing on the zone, got to find a way to get a rebound on a miss.
6 to shoot. McNeil, dangerous pass. Gives it up. 1 to shoot. McNeil. Somehow she got it off in time, and Miller comes up with the rebound. They were going to say it was off of North Texas, but with under a minute to play, they can go to a review to see who the ball went out off on. Will it be North Texas ball or will it be ECU's?
Yeah.
First of all, it was almost a shot clock violation. And then is it off of Lampkin or is it off of Miller?
Yeah, couldn't see from that replay angle. Again, good job executing to get a shot up, and then they're going to fight on the glass. That's what they've done all game long. That's who they are. That's the scouting report. So good job again by ECU putting pressure. It looks like it could have been off Lampkin.
Can they look back?
Could have been at Miller.
Can they look back at the possible shot clock violation?
I don't think that they are. I think they're just reviewing this play here.
I think you're right.
It looked like it could have been a shot clock violation. Again, I've said it multiple times. When you have an opportunity to deflect a pass that's going to McNeil, she's gotten so many clean looks at the end of the clock or just in possessions when they've had nowhere else to go. But great shot by her, hits the rim. It's going to come down to this possession. And again,
I think the call on the floor was off of North Texas. Now, the official stats say it was off of ECU, but I don't think that was the call on the floor. And if you're an ECU fan, you're looking at that and seeing Lampkin punch it out, certainly get it going in that direction, you say ECU ball. If you're a North Texas fan, you might, in your mind's eye, see it roll off the fingertips of Kaya Miller after the punch out by Lampkin and say, that's mean green ball. But we'll have to see. It's not up to us or you or anybody except for Bruce Morris, Natasha Kamey, and John Capolino. There you go. ECU basketball.
Yeah, just another big rebound that you have to find a way to come up with. Wasn't able to do so on that one. And again, ECU just continue to be relentless in their pursuit. Ooh, looks like it could have gone either way, but referees took the time, and 20-second differential between game clock and shot clock.
Joyner underneath, loses it to Miller. Now 14 to shoot. Game clock to shot clock difference is 20. Knocked away. Hardaway is on it. She's leaned on trying to take a timeout. North Texas has one. Instead, it's a tie ball. Possession arrow for North Texas. A steal for the Mean Green. They have the ball down by 1.
Big time play by Hardaway. We've talked about it a lot. The person that she is for this team, she's an unsung hero. That play may not go on the stat sheet, but wow, is that a huge defensive stand by her. She's played great defense all game. Gets a deflection, dives on the ball. We talked about first to the floor in these 50-50 plays, John, and how it would be a difference in a game like this. And here you see this young lady getting onto it first, able to get the jump ball that now leads to North Texas ball with 25 seconds left and a chance to attack on the offensive end. There you see the husband of Coach McNeil, who is the defensive anchor of this team, the associate head coach, Corey McNeil. Just an awesome, passionate, well-rounded coach that Coach McNeil said, we're going to have to make some hard family decisions at some point because he's good enough to be a head coach. He spearheads this matchup defense. He's a player development coach. He does it all, the X and O's, the in-game adjustments, and here you see crunch time plays by both teams.
You get a chance to see the big numbers there. The fouls to give for ECU. The shot clock will be off. When do you think about using a foul to give in a situation like this, if at all?
I don't think you use it at all. You just trust your defense, to be honest. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you have to. You want to get a defensive stop and be able to get a rebound and hopefully get fouled if you're ECU, and if you're North Texas, you want to be the score and get quickly into your defense. But this is what March and the end of the year is all about. Conference play, we're heading into the tournament. No better time of the game than a one-possession ball game with 25.8 seconds to go. We got big-time players in this game, big-time coaches, and now we got some big-time moments ahead.
You saw Tamisha Lampkin's son, Kaysen. He'd love to see Mom get the game-winning bucket. That'd be nice. 26 seconds to go. North Texas down by 1, and they have a chance to hold for the final shot. They have 2 timeouts left as well. Wrap around. Lampkin inside. He gets knocked away. Duncan gets it back and is fouled going up. 2 free throws for Shamaria Duncan, a 72% foul shooter, to try to put North Texas ahead.
Yeah, good job again. The interior passing is what they've done well all game, and Duncan this time sneaks behind, similar as you saw earlier. And there's a deflected pass and goes up strong in traffic, gets the foul.
Another look there. Hush falls over the crowd. Duncan's first to try to tie the game up. She has 10. Now, ECU does have a timeout left to move it into the front court, make or miss here. As long as they get the rebound off a miss, of course. No good. Joyner on the rebound, and it's the Pirates with the final opportunity in regulation to win it, as Shamaria Duncan goes 1 of 2.
Yeah, cool, calm, and collected on the first. Barely misses the second one with an in and out. And not surprised with these two teams and how similar they are, that we're in this position tied with 11 seconds left. The ball is advanced. I would imagine, again, you're going to go, are you playing man if you're North Texas? Are you playing zone? They've had success in both. But meanwhile, Danae McNeil, Joyner, led this team to an NCAA tournament last year. I would imagine they will be the ones to make the final play in this one.
Charlotte beat North Texas nearly at the buzzer of overtime on a 3 last time out at home. North Texas has lost 2 straight at home after starting the year 10-0. ECU has not been to overtime this season. Remember, ECU no timeouts left. Entry pass to McNeil. North Texas out of fouls. McNeil with 5. The preseason player of the year. McNeil, ball in her hands, still throws it away. And we're headed for an extra 5 minutes as ECU could not execute in the half court, and Tamisha Lampkin comes up with the steal.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sham Duncan stepped up. She knew she missed the second free throw. I know she wanted to get that one back. She's a competitor. She did an outstanding job on the best scorer in this conference on the ball screen. Got over the ball screen. There's no screen when you get over it like that. Forced the turnover. Great defensive stand by North Texas. Meanwhile, ECU let a little bit of momentum get out of this one as they thought they had a win in regulation. Good job by North Texas responding, and we got a little bit of extra time here we're about to play, John.
North Texas, no stranger to the overtime and no stranger to overtime in American play. This is already their 4th American Conference overtime game, and their only win in overtime this season came at home against Tulane.
Yeah, they played in some overtime games. Here you see the big-time stops that they had to make in that one. Ended victorious. Also just recently played overtime as well, and they've had some experience in these games where ECU has not had that experience. Kind of revisiting the foul trouble. We got a couple players that are key that have 4 fouls to kind of keep an eye on as this thing goes on. But the momentum right now goes towards North Texas. Can ECU start this game the same way they started the third quarter, or does North Texas play similar to how they played in that first half to start it?
So while North Texas is going to overtime for the 4th time this season, ECU has not been to overtime this year. And their last overtime game was in November of last season, back in 2022, when they beat High Point at home, 65-54. Does the experience of playing in overtime this year, 1 win and a couple of really heartbreaking losses, does that favor North Texas?
I would say a little bit, only because you have some young players playing in the game for ECU. 2 freshmen on the floor most of this game. 1 sophomore. So I think it does pay some because North Texas has some hard losses in overtime, and I think they're going to want to right the ship on some of those wrongs that they have felt this season.
Well, 41 points in the first half for the North Texas Mean Green. In the second half, Jason Burton's team was held to just 23. What did ECU do defensively to get back in this thing?
I mean, just outstanding. Really just kind of making them confused on the offensive end. As we talked about, They weren't able to play with the same pace. They weren't able to get the stops to play in transition, and they were able to get key and timely turnovers along with just contesting in the paint to make it big, to make their bigs have some misses. And good job winning the tip. Exciting overtime ahead for two teams fighting for position in the American Conference.
North Texas lost an overtime game against Charlotte, 70-69. Last time out at home. Again, for ECU, their first overtime game this season. McNeil trying to get the scoring started. No. Weiss, the offensive rebound, and sticks it back in with the baby hook. Kiss it off the glass.
Yeah, she's been playing through what looks like a little bit of an injury all game long, but what a toughness, what a warrior. Great job on the offensive glass and a sweet touch on the finish.
And for Weiss, it's an 11.9 rebound effort for the transfer from Florida. North Texas facing their largest deficit in the game. Colonel. Knocked away and stolen. It's McNeil flying to the rack. 4-point lead for the Pirates.
That's exactly what they want. And again, you got to be able to attack this this defense if you're North Texas. Got to go up strong like you see there, and you have to continue to attack. You don't want to stay on your heels. East Carolina's doing an outstanding job of just making North Texas hesitant and then jumping passing lanes like they love to do. North Texas has to find a way to play more inspired, more aggressive on the offensive end with more pace. Meanwhile, ECU continue to execute on the offensive end yourself to separate in this game.
Pirates had a 3-game losing streak. They broke it last time out. The 74-64 win over SMU. Now looking to fight for a win here at North Texas. Miller, great look at a 3. Doesn't go. Weiss knocks it out. North Texas has the ball back, down by 2 because of this tough bucket for Tamisha Lampkin. This is the bucket off the glass for Weiss. And that started the overtime scoring for ECU. So here's Lampkin in the post. Hardaway, wrap around. Colonel ties it up.
What a pass by Hardaway. I know sometimes people wonder, again, what is her role? Her role is to make plays like that and a play like that that could have been.
We'll see.
Could have been a charge.
The officials want to make sure they see the same thing.
They're talking about it.
Yep.
This is a big play either way. Hardaway putting a lot of
blocking,
pressure.
Foul, and free throws for East Carolina.
That is a tough, tough call. Anytime you leave the air as an offensive player, it's traditionally almost automatically on a pass a charge. So surprising that they call that a block. Not exactly sure what they base it on, but Hardaway's continued to make some big plays. She's the one that made the steal, got the deflection, got the jump ball that led to the Sham Duncan free throw that put this game in overtime. And here you see the replay. Leaves her feet. It looks like she might have been sliding to the left. Those plays are hard calls, 50-50 calls that could go either way. But meanwhile, Joyner at the line in the bonus.
Joyner going to the line for the first time in this game, and as a team, ECU 10 of 15. Joyner a better year at the line this season than she was in her freshman year, the freshman of the year in the American. And she has 15 and puts ECU back in front.
15 and 11, 7 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. You talk about efficiency, that extra work she's putting in the mornings with Coach Corey McNeil is really paying off.
22 double-doubles in her career and 4 straight. Out of the corner, Duncan for the lead, and she drops it through. Shamaria Duncan lives for the corner 3.
Yes, she does, and she makes big ones in big moments. We mentioned the South Florida game earlier where she made 2 big ones. That was a huge one right there, and a travel called. North Texas fans loving it, and Duncan heating up in the corner. And you love to see Deani Robinson back in the game. You mentioned that too. She draws so much attention because she can score the basketball, and what a beautiful stroke in the corner. Great delay and shot fake by Deani Robinson on the pass as well.
Shamaria Duncan filling it up from 3 in her last 3 games. She has 2 or more threes. And this one of the biggest of all, giving North Texas the lead back at 71-70, 2:22 to play in overtime.
Yeah, and part of what makes this North Texas team so good is they do have balanced scoring, and they have players that can step up. You've seen Wooten have a career high with 16. Duncan now has 13, 3 of 6 from 3, makes the big free throw and gets the stop to go into overtime. And awesome basketball being played by both teams. Still just a one-possession game.
Neither team makes a lot of threes. That was just the third made 3 of the game for North Texas. They've all been from Duncan. Now the ball and the lead for the Mean Green. Robinson against the matchup. North Texas wants to get it to their bigs. Lampkin at the nail. Lampkin going to work and earning the foul shots.
Nice job that time being aggressive to initiate contact. Really good job again. When you're playing against this kind of length, you can't always try to go over the top. She puts her shoulder into Joyner's shoulder, initiating that contact at the rim, putting some pressure on the ref to have to make a call. Now Meech Lampkin at the line. 19 fouls, East Carolina to 15 North Texas. The first half seemed like it was more going the way of North Texas on the fouls. Second half, East Carolina's been in the bonus for a large majority of the time, and big-time job stepping up by Lampkin here on the first free throw. Gets the second one to go to. Still a one-possession game. 3-point lead by North Texas.
Those are big ones for a 56% foul shooter. The Pirates go through McNeil, their all-star, for the tie. Off to the left. Big rebound for Jaden Mallard. Hasn't played a lot of minutes, but that's a huge rebound for Jalen Mallard.
Yeah, I think Coach wanted to go with some more size inside. There's so much physicality by this ECU team. So not a smart foul by Joyner. A little bit impatient. Got caught reaching over the top, and going back to the line is Meech Lampkin. Yeah, good job navigating the screen. She wanted to pull the 3. Again, not a big strength of McNeil's game. 0 of 4 in this game. Sham Duncan, again, the defender on McNeil.
First free throw crawls off for Tamisha Lampkin. Lampkin, who has been incredible in conference play and has double-doubles in 5 of her last 6. Gives North Texas a 2-possession lead. Now each team gets an extra timeout in overtime. North Texas with a trap here. 1 timeout for ECU, and they do get it across with seconds to spare.
Yeah, good job putting some pressure, not letting them have so much time in the half court. Looks like they may try to go to Joyner. Paint is clogged.
Bobby Smith, reserve guard, finds Danae McNeil against Duncan. Runner, no, but Lampkin called for the late foul, helping on the play, and that will send McNeil to the line.
Yeah, again, a great job by McNeil getting separation. I'm still not sure why she's letting her catch the ball, but on that one, Wooten has to close the gap. They do not. McNeil's so good at knifing in between the help defenders and being able to get to the rim.
They did give the foul to Duncan. That's on me, but McNeil has a chance to cut the lead in half. That's 3 misses in the second half from the line for Danae McNeil. Just simply not like her.
Talk about some breaks North Texas is getting. She is 88% from the line in conference play. Leads this conference in free throw makes.
Does make the second one to make it a 1-possession game. 1:13 left. Some pressure for ECU. Hardaway trying to make the right pass as she is doubled. Gets it across to Colonel. And Robinson safely into the front court. What do you want to see in the half court for North Texas?
Just continue to attack. I think that's the biggest thing. You cannot press the ball around the perimeter. Get the ball inside, attack inside the paint.
Colonel, she will attack. Joyner knocks it away. Only 5 to shoot. Duncan finds Lampkin and 1! What a find by Duncan. And Tamisha Lampkin gets the friendly roll. North Texas by 5.
When they play inside the arc, John, against this matchup defense, that's when their best things have happened. Wasn't pretty here, loses the ball, kicks it out, but she drives the closeout, gets to the paint, Gives a nice pass to Lampkin, and the muscle inside, the emotion from 24, as she now has 21 points on the evening.
Her 6th game of 20-plus. And off the miss, an immediate timeout by ECU to get it into the front court with 44.8 to go in overtime. But North Texas making a clutch offensive play. Tamisha Lampkin's bucket puts North Texas in front by 5. Welcome back into Denton. 44.6 left in overtime. A big Tamisha Lampkin bucket puts North Texas up by 5 with under 45 seconds left. And now for ECU, you got to go fast. Need 2 buckets in a hurry. Miller outside. Nowhere to go against the man-on-man. Miller fires. Miller knocks down her 3rd 3 of the game. She had only hit 3 of her previous 39 threes before this game, and today the freshman's on fire.
Miller's been awesome. You go onto the ball screen, but the ball is dead. That's the part I'm kind of like, once it's dead, you got to put some pressure on right there. She picks up her dribble, the ball is dead. Take that away, but good job. You're playing the percentages and players making plays. That's what this game is about. Good job by the freshman. She made the 3 in regulation in the corner, which was a huge 3. This one also with another huge response, and neither team is going away. You're going to have to earn this all the way to the buzzer.
And it also gives ECU a chance to play out this possession as well defensively.
Yep.
There's an 8.3-second differential. You're out of team fouls, so if you do foul, you put them at the line. No timeouts left for ECU, but that could not have gone any better for the Pirates to try to extend this game.
Yeah, they did it in a short amount of time as well. So big possession here. As you mentioned, they do not have to foul. They can play this one out.
North Texas trying to snap a 2-game losing streak at home and also looking for their 21st win of the season. That would tie an all-time single-season record in Mean Green Land. Down to 11 to shoot for Hardaway. She goes with 10, now with 8. To Colonel, knocked away. Hardaway got it back. Only 4 to shoot. Lampkin, can she do it again? She's blocked inside. Shot clock violation with no call. No timeouts left. Miller into the front court for the time. Miller off the glass and good. Count it, count it, count it. And the clock maybe should have stopped if it went in before the end of overtime, but a scramble bucket for Miller. We're going to a second overtime.
Yeah, great job there by Joyner, but Miller with the over-the-top, doesn't get stripped. The freshman, the rookie, doing it so well here in Denton this evening, making back-to-back. She's on a 5-0 run by herself, if this bucket counts.
Kim McNeil said she can score. She just doesn't know what she's doing yet. She plays hard.
She knew what she was doing on this one right here. On that 3 and on that bucket right there, she knew exactly what she was doing. North Texas got a little bit too relaxed. And then on that play inside, they went exactly to Lampkin. She's been playing so well. But you have to continue to go through the contact, John. You have to make the confrontation at the rim. You can't just go straight up against a player like Joyner. She's going to block it every single time. Great job by ECU continuing to fight. And now they have the momentum going in this one. What a big-time game. This is what March Madness is all about. I don't think it's quite March yet. I think we got a few more days, but it feels like it already, John.
Could be a preview of things to come in March in Fort Worth at Dickies Arena. Now for North Texas, they thought they had this thing won, mainly thanks to the incredible play of Tamisha Lampkin tonight, who leads the Mean Green right now with 21 points.
Yeah, she's been awesome in this game, and we've talked about it time and time again. She set the tone early running the floor, and on the offensive glass, she's been able to get assists. She's close to a double-double, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds, just 5 of 9 from the free throw line, though. A couple more of those, and this game is over, but what a ball game we have, and players are making plays all over the floor. Got to give Miller so much credit. She's now at 19 points, 7 of 17, 3 threes, and a huge transition bucket by the freshman to put this thing into double overtime.
But Tamisha Lampkin, the old head, as they say, playing toe-to-toe with her. But you're exactly right about Miller. A career high, and not by a little bit, for Kaya Miller. She has been playing out of her mind in this one. She was a top 100 player coming out of Sidwell Friends School, and that was on the ESPN Hoop Girls recruiting rankings, the most respected one out there, and she is showing off her talent and turning the corner at the perfect time for ECU.
Yeah, I love it. Again, I've said it time and time again, these two coaches, similar stories coming from lower major Division I schools that have built programs. Coach Burton coming from Division II Commerce, Coach McNeil coming from Hartford, and two of the best coaches in this league, and you can see exactly why as we have another overtime. And gotta love college basketball, John.
Last time North Texas played a double OT game was pre-pandemic. An 84-74 loss to Florida Atlantic in January of 2020. As we go to double OT, North Texas has 3 timeouts. ECU back to 1. And the possession arrow in favor of the Mean Green. But ECU starts with the ball. McNeil stepping through, and a beautiful kiss off the glass to give ECU the advantage.
I wasn't sure if they were going to call it travel or not, but great move to be able to step through the way she did to get an easy layup.
Given that step-through continuation, Mallard ready to shoot and tie it up.
I mean, you talk about somebody making a big shot. Mallard hasn't shot maybe in a couple weeks, it feels like, at home. Big-time play there for the easy jumper.
Takeaway by Lampkin, a steal for North Texas. Turnover number 16 for ECU, and North Texas can take the lead in OT number 2. Foul trouble. There are 3 players with 4 fouls apiece for ECU. On the take, Robinson short, and on the rebound, Mallard called for the foul, so free throws the other way for ECU.
Tough break there for UNT. Had a wide open layup. Deani Robinson makes that probably 8 or 9 out of 10 times. Here you see the defense here and the step through. Beautiful move by the best scorer in this conference. And here you see Mallard with the easy jumper, no hesitation, playing some big minutes off the bench.
So Tatiana Weish was the one that got fouled on the other end on the loose ball. Weish working on another big game and the 71% foul shooter. Couple big ones here. But a settling shot by the transfer from Florida.
Yeah, back-to-back double-double games for her. Now that she's back healthy, I mean, they won 5 out of 6 when they had this crew healthy. She was out about 3 games, and they lost 3 of those. All 3 of those games came back against SMU and got a victory. And she is a huge part of this game, huge part of this team.
Weish has 14. Duncan thought about the 3. Steps in. Hardaway for the lead. Back rim, but Lampkin chases the rebound down. Finds Robinson for the tie, in and out. And Weish clears the carom. ECU leading by 2.
Yeah, another point-blank shot. Good job getting the extra possessions. And, again, comes down to those little small margins. Great shot by Deani Robinson. Wasn't able to connect. And another great defensive rebound by East Carolina.
You got to dig deep now. Double overtime. Miller. Ball knocked into the air, and Miller called for the foul, and Miller has fouled out. That is huge for the freshman who has led ECU in this comeback with 19 points.
Yeah, that's just a tough break. She jumped past. Good job again by Hardaway. I've said it about her being an unsung hero. Here you see her getting a deflection. They got her with the contact as Hardaway falls down. Could have been a no call. They decided to make it a call, and the clutch player for ECU in regulation and the first overtime fouls out of this game in her best game as a college player. I'm assuming because it was an offensive foul, it's not bonus, even though North Texas is in the bonus.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was ruled an offensive foul, not a loose ball foul. 2:55 to play in the second OT. East Carolina by 2 here in Denton. Trying to make it a 3-game home losing streak for North Texas. North Texas still trying to chase down Temple for a conference regular season championship. Colonel inside. Great job by Joyner. Colonel had it back. Now a reach-in tie ball. It stays with North Texas with 2:33 left in double OT.
Yeah, we mentioned the 50-50 plays. It's not about pretty at this point in the game. You got to make it a little bit ugly and a little bit gritty. And the left-hand finish doesn't go. The contact on the way down, and refs letting them play, and jump ball. North Texas earns an extra possession. It looks like they may be looking at a review. Not exactly sure of what, but.
Timeout called. On the floor, maybe the officials will look at something here. Or maybe this is a North Texas, as our officials will come over. John Calipino. We'll see what the review is about on the other side. Welcome back into Denton, the campus of the University of North Texas. Only the second ever matchup between East Carolina and North Texas. We want more, so we're in double overtime. ECU in front with 2:33 to play in the second OT, 80-78. John Liddle back with Brian Burton and our whole crew. And the officiating crew is looking at something that happened during that tie-up on the baseline. What did John Calipino have to say to you, Brian?
Yeah, he was just saying that they want to look to make sure there wasn't any unnecessary contact to the face. So that's kind of what they're checking into. And it looks like they've come to a little bit of a conclusion.
It is North Texas basketball after a tie ball, unless there was some kind of extra flagrant added to this.
Yeah, I can't imagine that there would be anything just other than resume play. It's good that they checked it out to make sure, and it looks like we were correct, just a jump ball, and North Texas ball baseline underneath.
That was not a coach's called timeout. East Carolina in points off turnovers, leading North Texas 21-17. ECU has won their last 6 games when having more points off turnovers than their opponent. They've lost their last 5 when having less, so that bodes well for the Pirates. 3 to shoot. Hardaway forces it up, and wow, what a bailout by Kamora Jenkins to put Hardaway at the line with a chance to tie it.
Part of what I love about Hardaway, she doesn't usually make the same mistake twice. Earlier in the game, she did not get aggressive to be able to make a play with the shot clock. That time she did get fouled, get a great job on the shot fake, and again, just a heady point guard leading this ball club. She's played really well again in this game, controlling the floor with 4 assists, 5 rebounds, that big steal to lead 2 overtime.
And makes both free throws. Again, it's a brand new game. North Texas led for most of this game, 37-55 of it. East Carolina's only led for 6 minutes. But late in the game, we've had 8 lead changes and 7 ties. Danae McNeil, maybe the best player in this league, lobs it inside to her buddy My Joyner. Backing in on Lampkin. The quick shot off the mark. Colonel there for the rebound. North Texas trying to take the advantage.
Yeah, Colonel playing the 3 right now, giving an even bigger lineup to be able to go against this big front line.
And Colonel gets blocked. What a great job. The quick hands by Bobby Smith, the 5'11 sophomore guard.
Yeah, great block, and it actually hit Lampkin in the hands. I don't think she was expecting it. Was not able to come up with it clean.
Oh,
maybe it hit off Colonel.
Yeah, it must have gone off Colonel. I agree with you. Initially, I thought it went off Lampkin as well, but the replay says no. Joyner, ball in the post against Lampkin. What a matchup. Knocked away by Colonel, but right to Weish. Weish on the baseline against Mallard for the lead. Comes up short. Lampkin grabs the rebound for her 11th double-double of the season. And North Texas with a $120 left in double overtime throws it away.
Defense is getting it done right now on both sides. North Texas 0-5 the last 5. Hasn't scored in 3 minutes. East Carolina hadn't scored in 2.5. Both teams on a little bit of a scoring drought. That time just too high of an entry pass. The turnovers have been a big part of this game. We talked about in the keys to the game that East Carolina needs to feast off turnovers. They have 21 points off turnovers. Meanwhile, North Texas has 19. John, I believe you have some stats on when East Carolina leads in the points off turnovers.
They do very, very well. They've won their last 6 games, but here's a turnover. Colonel takes it away. North Texas looking for the lead. Colonel trapped in the corner, though. Finds Lampkin. Up top, Duncan not looking to shoot. North Texas goes into their half-court offense.
I'd imagine they're going to go again to Desiree Colonel in the middle of this matchup.
Hardaway goes to the ground. Ball in the air, picked off by Bobby Smith. Leading ahead, Danae McNeil. And ECU takes an 82-80 lead.
Huge turnover and a huge no call. Hardaway falls down. Thought it might have been a foul. Was not a foul. And big steal that ended up as a result.
You see Hardaway get knocked to the ground, and then it's just a fight for it. And luckily for East Carolina, Bobby Smith wins the ball. Danae McNeil wins the race.
Yeah, that's what makes this defense so tough, because when they get the steals, your guards are at the top of the zone, so you get these easy, uncontested shots like you just saw there. I wasn't sure if North Texas tried to call a timeout when Hardaway fell down. It looked like the ball was in Colonel's hands, kind of bobbled it, and another 50-50 play come up by East Carolina. Both these teams are exhausted physically. I'm sure exhausted mentally. They just want to be able to walk away with a win. Has not been easy. Both teams, again, mentally tough as nails, so well coached, so disciplined. You're seeing some championship basketball be played here in Denton.
East Carolina is off until Sunday. North Texas off until Saturday. After this slobber knocker, Colonel down by 2. Game clock to shot clock difference, 8. That doesn't matter much yet. Now Colonel is fouled and goes to the line trying for 2 clutch free throws to again tie it up. Bobby Smith the foul.
Yeah, the correct call. They wanted to go to Desiree Colonel. They have her playing the 3, a little bit more of a mismatch there. You see the reach in, contact. The referees have done an outstanding job. This has been a physical, intense game with some well-played basketball players on all sides, and they've kept it really clean for the most part, despite all the fouls.
Colonel, so good at the line. 3 for 3 in this game.
She has 15 rebounds and 5 assists.
That's all?
In this game as well.
That is clutch. As clutch as you can get at this level. Desiree Colonel, who steps up in the big moments, makes it a brand new game again. 26.4 left in double OT. East Carolina ball, they'll move it into the front court.
As the late, great Stuart Scott would say, as cool as the other side of the pillow. Big-time players making big-time plays in big-time games. Desiree Colonel has 18 points. She's probably the smallest interior player in this game height-wise. She has 15 rebounds, which is a game high. She has 5 assists and is 4 of 4 from the line, 50% from the field. It feels like a quiet game for her, surprisingly, even though she has 15 rebounds.
Meanwhile, the East Carolina Pirates, after being down by 15 at one point in this game, clawed back to take it to OT and then double OT thanks to Kaya Miller. Miller not on the floor now. She has fouled out. But the Pirates do have Danae McNeil and company as they try to go back in front. What are they looking for on this possession?
Going to McNeil. They're going to play ball with her in the ball screen. I'm sure with Mai on a wing, trying to play two-man game with their 2 best players, or they're going to go just straight flat and let her go one-on-one. Definitely want to be able to help in this scenario. They want to try to get the last shot.
Duncan with 10. North Texas out of timeouts. 5 now for McNeil. McNeil cut off, lobs it left. Gordon, baseline, quick shot, no good. Can you say triple OT as the Pirates cannot convert, and these exhausted players must do it for 5 more minutes in Denton?
Wow, that's all you can say about that is wow. North Texas gets another big stop. This is the second time they've had an opportunity. I know the coaches for ECU is like, shoot the ball, we only have so much time. But what North Texas did a good job of is they crowded McNeil and didn't let it be a one-on-one on the 1-4 flat, kick it to the corner. They wanted the freshman to shoot it, the bench did. She did not. And unfortunately, with Miller not in the game making some of those huge plays, we got a third overtime on our hands, and both these teams, like you mentioned, are exhausted. It is definitely going to come down to who can dig the deepest and have that intestinal fortitude and that extra push, that extra will, that extra want-to.
The last time that ECU went to triple overtime was just last season, almost this time last year. Against Houston, they lost in triple overtime, 88-83. It's been a few more years for the University of North Texas. You got to go back to 2016, the J. Lee Mitchell era, a 197 loss to Rice, a triple overtime game that was better known as the Oriana Shiloh game, as a little-known walk-on came out and kept North Texas in that one. But we've got 3 overtimes today, and the name to know in this one, Desiree Colonel, with a huge effort, 18 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists for the Queen.
Yeah, we talked about it so many times. She's won over 100 games in her career, been in so many situations. She is undersized in this game. She's got 5 assists. She's just done everything North Texas has needed and come up so big in so many ways. And huge free throws. Free throws have been a big reason why they haven't been able to win some of these close games. And Desiree's 4 of 4, made some huge plays at the foul line. And, I mean, you just look at both these coaches, both these staffs. Coach McNeil talked about how much there's a mirror image of a lot of the similarities between these two teams. And, well, the score has been similar after every single one of these periods, John.
It feels like a conference tournament game where there are stretches of just outstanding play, and then there are stretches where neither team can score.
Yep.
That will definitely happen in postseason play. And it's possible these two teams could match up in the postseason. Hey, if North Texas stays a 3 seed and ECU a 7, and ECU was to win over SMU in the opening round, then they would play North Texas again. This tap into the front court. East Carolina's won every tap in this one. It's the 4th tap we've had in this game. That doesn't happen very often in women's college basketball, but here we are in triple OT. John Liddle alongside Brian Burton and our entire crew getting overtime tonight. Joyner inside, couldn't touch it in. Rebound to the corner. What a save into Joyner. Kamora Jenkins with the extra effort. Jenkins into the defense. Layup. No justice for Jenkins, but Weish has the offensive board.
East Carolina doing what East Carolina does. We talked about them being dominant on the offensive glass as the key to the game. They start out the third overtime with multiple efforts.
McNeil firing up her 32nd shot of the game, and it's off. North Texas grabs their first possession of the third OT. Lampkin baseline. Out front to Hardaway. Desiree Colonel. Here's 9 to shoot for Lampkin. Attacking, stripped. McNeil again. One-on-one with Hardaway. McNeil, the layup to put ECU up by 2.
I think we've seen that play happen before. She's number 1 in the league in steals for a reason, and she continues to make huge plays.
That's her 4th steal of the game. The shot inside does not fall. Rebound out last touched by North Texas. ECU the ball and the lead.
Yeah, McNeil just so good at finding a way to get those steals. She knows she's not playing on the perimeter. She's looking to help in the paint because that's where North Texas wants to score, and that's where Lampkin's got to probably go over the help side a little bit. But good job crowding the paint, getting another steal, and got some fresh bodies in the game for North Texas. Deani Robinson's in the game defending the ball, and you also got Desiree Wooten, who has her career high. See what those two can bring for the Mean Green.
8 ties, 8 lead changes. My Joyner in the post, knocked away. There's Robinson, a foul And it's going to be 2 free throws anyway, but if this was the WNBA, you'd have a transition take there, a free throw in the ball.
Yeah, that's one of those you want to say, ref, why are you calling that? Let us have the easy 2 points, because if they don't call that foul, then she's going to get an easy 2 points. But meanwhile, back at the line, and a great place to be if you're North Texas while you're down 2 is being able to earn, not have to play against this matchup defense where you may turn it over. Deani Robinson already providing a spark. Smart substitution by the Mean Green staff to be able to put their fastest 2 players in the game that have often been a game changer off the bench.
Robinson kisses it in. The foul was on Bobby Smith, by the way, her 3rd of the night. Right now, 2 players on each side have 4 personals. Weish and Joyner for ECU, and it's Wooten and Hardaway for North Texas. We're back at square one with 3:07 left in the 3rd OT. And again, this has only happened in North Texas history back in 2016, North Texas and Rice here at the Super Pit.
Good job pressuring the ball by Robinson. Again, without a true point guard, puts a lot of extra added pressure on having to execute in the half court, but we know they're going to McNeil, and great defense by Wooten.
This long road trip wearing on the legs of the East Carolina Pirates, and this long game is as well. Knotted at 84. High-low. Mallard blocked. Mallard gets on the deck for the ball, looking to call timeout, but she's out of bounds. It's ECU basketball. Mallard couldn't keep her body off the baseline.
I like all of it. Great job passing it, but again, Mallard, this is not necessarily her strength, but you see again, leaning away from the contact. You have to go through ECU in order to get points in this game. They're not calling touch fouls. They're too long, too tall, too big to be able to just go up that easily. So good job by ECU with the defensive stand. And this is par for the course in this game. We've seen so many possessions where both teams have gotten big stops.
7 blocks for ECU. Again, par for the course for them as well. They average 4.7, and that co-leads the league with UTSA. Foul on Robinson, and that is going to put Bobby Smith at the line, a 63% foul shooter this season.
Yeah, a little surprising on that one. Good job by Robinson putting the pressure on Smith, who's not a traditional point guard, not necessarily comfortable in that position, but hey, I'd rather put more pressure on him than take the pressure off and make it easy on him. So to the line goes ECU.
Smith had 4 points, 4 steals in the win over SMU. Can't knock it down here. One more as Kim McNeil continues to encourage her team. Pick up a season-flipping win. 1 of 2. East Carolina up by 1. 2:10 left in triple overtime of this classic in Denton. Only the 2nd ever matchup. Robinson looking for the entry pass. Nothing there. Lampkin has it knocked to the floor, and if it's a tie ball, possession stays with North Texas with 11 to shoot.
It's just hard because you're almost telegraphing a little bit where you want to go. Colonel is playing a little bit out of position. You got Mallard in the game, who's been good, but it's not a normal lineup, and you're playing against a non-normal defense. So North Texas not able to get in their comfort zone. Every offensive possession is huge in such a possession game.
What's the reason for the 3 bigs right now for Jason Burton? Is it just for rebounding?
I would imagine it's for defense and rebounding, even though they are out rebounding in this game. But I think they have a mismatch as well to be able to get Colonel involved a little more offensively with her at a smaller position.
Only 4 to shoot. Robinson, no chance on this one, except for Danae McNeil reaching into the cookie jar. But Deani Robinson is going to get the 3 Oreos.
I like that. I didn't know we were doing Oreo cookies, but I like it.
Or whatever you want. Oatmeal raisin? What are you all about?
Hey, I'll take Oreos. If Oreos is what it is, we'll take the Oreos.
Me too.
Wow. Desperation shot, and
It's the right call, too.
It is the right call, and that's the pressure that Deani Robinson puts when she's in the game. She just went to the line and made a couple, so that makes her feel even more comfortable to make these.
Didn't start the year as a starter, but then about 10 games in, started to start, if that makes sense. Didn't quite work out the way North Texas wanted it to, so Jason Burton says, I'm putting you on the bench for the rest of the year. You can go out and win the 6th Player of the Year.
Well, there's nobody I would think that is in that conversation more than she is. She's averaged 13 points a game in conference play. She's been sensational. Former Player of the Year at Texas A&M Commerce in the Lone Star Conference. An All-American multiple times. 1,500-point scorer. Just an outstanding player who came over from Commerce with Coach Burton, and she gets all 3 to go.
One of the program changers, one of the ones to help change everything here at North Texas. Only 11 wins last season, looking for their 21st. It would tie a team record. Now she's the on-the-ball defense on Smith. Joyner outside the arc. She won't shoot from there. 10 to shoot. Into McNeil, too strong. And it goes back to North Texas with the lead.
Now, I'm not a defensive coach. I'm sitting over here in the booth with a headset on, but I've been saying it all game long. You cannot let McNeil get easy catches. What happens? Wooten denies her, and it forces a turnover. That's what you have to do when you play against a player of that caliber. Every catch has to be hard for her. She's just too good otherwise.
North Texas safely across against a zone press. 18 to shoot it for Deani Robinson, who scored 5 in overtime from the free throw line. Triple OT in Mean Green Land. 5 to shoot, it's Robinson's again. Robinson, the floater, can't kiss it home. Rebound knocked around, and Bobby Smith has it. ECU down by 2. McNeil dumps it off inside. Weish ties it up.
What a pass. McNeil so good in transition. Normally she scores it, but second time she's made a big-time pass in transition. Players
are square again, Brian.
Players grabbing their shorts, just wanting this one to be over with in many ways.
I'm grabbing my slacks right now.
They're trying to get it to Colonel inside, and so many deflections.
And it's a steal for Weish. Smith may have numbers, taking it to the hole. No! Offensive rebound. Joyner runs the floor, but not rewarded. Rebound by Colonel. Immediate timeout by Burton to move it into the front court, and North Texas has possession and a chance to win in triple OT.
I mean, that's just fatigue, unfortunately, that they missed those layups point blank. Good job sprint back by North Texas, not making it easy, but just sheer exhaustion going on right now. And you have a player down on the floor for ECU as well. Here you see the great pass in transition. We got a ball game in Denton.
Welcome back to Denton. Here's what happened behind the play before the 2 misses. As McNeil goes to the ground, Ariana Hardaway tumbles over her, and her head ends up hitting the ground. Now, it ended up in 2 misses for East Carolina and a rebound for Desiree Colonel. Now, thankfully, Danae McNeil, the outstanding player for ECU, was able to get to the sideline under her own power, but McNeil is not out there, the reigning defensive player of the year, for this huge defensive possession. North Texas ball, 19 seconds left in triple overtime, and the game tied at 87. North Texas has 2 timeouts left, and East Carolina 1. Free throws on any defensive or loose ball foul. Hardaway out front as North Texas tries to win in triple OT. 10 seconds left. High screen. Hardaway gives up ground with 5 seconds, with 4 knocked away. It's stolen. It's Smith with 1 second throwing it up. It is quadruple overtime in Denton. And we keep going on a Tuesday night. What a game.
There's no words. There's no words at this point. You were not expecting that turnover, but you can't. That's the one thing you can't do against this team. You can't pick up your dribble. But I think it was the right no call. I know both teams want to go home with a win. You could have called a foul on a reach there. You don't. And then this little non-bump there, you gotta let them play out and let them earn it. And I say great job by the referees. Danae McNeil's checking back in. And what a game. Both teams so exhausted. They've exerted so much energy. They've literally emptied their tank. And as have we, John, but we're still rolling. We are still rolling. Big-time ball game. Great coaches. You just got to love this part about college basketball when it's getting close to March. You can feel the urgency from both teams. You see how much both teams are putting everything they have on the line to be able to win it. And it's just awesome American Conference athletic game.
Welcome back in courtside. Brian Burton, I'm John Liddle. Two guys you would not find in the club on a Tuesday.
But it's going up.
It is going up.
On a Tuesday.
It is. Fourth overtime now. Can you remember any games in your coaching career where you played this many overtimes? This is going to be a North Texas record. ECU has done it once in their past.
Yeah, I mean, very few and far between. Yes, I can remember a time I felt probably like these coaches felt. You're just trying to pour everything you can into your players to just one more play. We just need one. But I just think that, it's an awesome testament to what both these programs are about.
Absolutely. We said it coming in that both of these coaches had a lot of respect for the other. Thought it was a very evenly matched game. And it's been a grinder the whole way. And these teams just can't pull away from each other in overtime. We'll shout out at the end of first overtime, Kaya Miller scoring 5 points by herself in the last 40 seconds, including the buzzer-beating bucket to send us to double OT. We just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. A fourth overtime in Denton, Texas. Again, this will be the first 4 overtime game in North Texas history.
Well, I think the thing you see, too, is both teams making their defensive and offensive adjustments, but East Carolina went to the tournament last year. They feel this time of year in March and what's coming, and Mean Green wants to go. They're not too far away from a conference championship. If they can win out and get a cup and get Temple to possibly lose one more, they'll be a share of the conference title. So there's a lot to play for, and both teams feel it and know it.
Danae McNeil back out there, great to see, but she misses hard off the heel. The offensive rebound by Tatiana Weish, and she is fouled on that baseline, and Weish goes to the line to try to give ECU the lead.
I mean, I know we've talked about the rebounds and how important it has been in this game, but this young lady, even with the contact, is unaffected, goes up top to get it with 2 hands. She is going to be a problem in this conference going forward. You can see why she was at a place like Florida on scholarship and was a part of that program. And she's been impressive with her double-double performance. Gets better and better with every game.
The foul on Duncan. It's her 4th. By the way, the 4 overtime game for ECU occurred in 2004, so 20 years ago. They won against another Texas team in TCU, 125-119. That bodes well for ECU if you're a fan of history. East Carolina up by 2 in the 4th overtime. Hardaway driving right. Cut off. Back to Robinson. She's been big in OT. Robinson off the glass and no, but Lampkin, the rebound, the putback. We're tied again.
That's a name we haven't heard in a while. They've done a good job defensively, but on the glass is Lampkin right on time. Both teams taking advantage of the offensive glass because the defenses have been playing so good, forcing teams to miss.
Good entry inside. Weish gets another look. Out to McNeil. Extra pass. Jenkins for 3. Strong offensive rebound. My Joyner. And she's fouled. Lampkin with her 4th, and Joyner goes to the line.
Yeah, that's a surprising one. Joyner is so big and long, but surprising they did not get that offensive foul call on the over the back. Normally they do, but she tips it, makes contact with Robinson, and then Lampkin gets the foul. Here you see the drive by Deani Robinson, a floater that she loves to take, and right on time is Lampkin.
So my Joyner headed to the line.
"52 minutes in this game she's played, John.
Wow. The record for overtime games for an NCAA Division I women's college basketball game is 5. It has happened twice. One of them in 2016, American Conference teams, Memphis and Temple. I did not know that. Second free throw, no good, but Danae McNeil is there for the rebound and the stick back to put ECU in front.
Yeah, such a big part of the game is free throw blockouts. That time, Mallard was the guilty culprit on that one, not being able to block out McNeil, and McNeil takes advantage.
32 for Danae McNeil. Robinson for the lead. Comes up short. The ball and the lead for East Carolina, and they want to push. McNeil has taken 36 shots to get to 32 points. Efficiency not her friend in this one, but all the Pirates care about is a win. McNeil for 2, rolls out. We cross the 3-minute mark here in quadruple overtime. North Texas trying to tie or take the lead this possession. Robinson travels. No, there's going to be a foul.
Against Colonel.
Yeah.
Excuse me, against the defender of Colonel.
And that's on Kimora Jenkins, her second. I thought there was a shuffle of the feet here, but simultaneously, yeah, definitely, lots of body by Kimora Jenkins.
Yeah, free throws are going to be as big of a part of this game. We've talked about the offensive rebounds and the turnovers, but free throws are going to be and continue to be huge difference maker.
Desiree Colonel's used to being there. Colonel, who's made 13 free throws in a game twice this year, is top 20 in the nation in both makes and attempts, but the best she can do this trip is make it a 1-point game. After her first miss of the night, she makes the second, 91-90 in quadruple overtime. Who is going to make that play? It's looked several times like the play had been made that might put it away. But no dice. Pull-up jumper off the mark by Jenkins. Rebound kept alive and out. Last touched by East Carolina off of Bobby Smith.
Yeah, here you see the pull-up jumper, good contest, good defense, good physical blockouts, but too many Mean Green players watching. Almost cost them another offensive rebound.
Who's going to be the hero in this one? Back in February of 2004 when ECU won in 4 overtimes, it was Courtney Willis going for 40 points and 21 rebounds. Also, can this game count for a game and a half in the standings?
It does not, unfortunately. I think both teams would love it if that was the case.
Colonel, 5 to shoot, the step through. Strong. Joyner, strong rebound with 2 minutes left in quadruple OT. Can the Pirates take the full 1-possession lead? 3 players on the floor for ECU with 4 fouls. 3 players for North Texas on the floor with 4 fouls. Repost to Joyner, 5 to shoot. Joyner gives it up. Smith, tough shot, way off. North Texas ball, a $1:32 to play in the 4th OT. North Texas has timeouts left to use, 3 of them. ECU didn't use their one in the 3rd overtime. They've got 2.
Yeah, nice defensive stand here by North Texas. Another contested shot, forced an air ball. Again, both teams just trying to find whatever they can from an energy standpoint to just get them through the buzzer with a victory.
54 minutes for Desiree Colonel of North Texas wearing number 10. Who's going to pick up the go-ahead bucket for North Texas? Jocelyn Moore's back in for the first time in a while. Posts it to Colonel. Up and under, and she's fouled by Mai Joyner, and that is the 5th on Joyner. who will leave with her 22nd career double-double.
I think the foul out may even be a bigger play than her going to the line because Mai is such a, she has been just a force in the paint defensively with blocks, steals. This is a good call. Again, the fatigue setting in. Desiree's tried that move earlier in the game and just such a warrior. Again, we mentioned it, how many games this young lady has won. She's coming off of one of her best games of her career in 24 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. She's followed it, John, with 19 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 assists. I'd say she's pretty good.
Colonel ties it up. Meanwhile, we get a look at East Carolina and how they're dealing with foul trouble right now. Pirates have already had 2 foul out in this one. And they've got one more in Tatiana Weish with 4 fouls. Her sister Talia Weish came in after Joyner fouled out. Turtle's second free throw puts North Texas up by 1. 1:07 to play in the 4th OT. Colonel goes for the steal. The entry inside to Weish and back to Jenkins. Pirates with 15 to shoot. Weish, double, but doesn't give it up. Weish for the lead, in and out, and the rebound to Colonel. Timeout called by Burton with 49.9 left in the 4th OT, and North Texas trying to figure out a way to close out an incredible Pirate effort. The North Texas Mean Green leading East Carolina 92-91. 4th overtime. I'm surprised anything's still open on campus tonight, but the light's still on at many buildings around Denton. The University of North Texas leads East Carolina in this key American Conference matchup, 92-91. 49.9 left in OT. Kim McNeil has coached for you-know-what off in this one.
That sweatshirt is sweet, by the way.
That is a nice one. 2 timeouts left for both of these coaches. No fouls to give. The possession arrow actually favors North Texas, and there we go. Favors the Mean Green here in the 4th OT, and it's North Texas basketball. Both teams out of team fouls, of course. North Texas has done a great job in the overtime periods, and there have been 4 of them knocking down their free throws. They're 15 of 18 from the line. Colonel gets it in just in time. Now, ECU can play this out and just try to force a miss. They've got a couple timeouts to bring it into the front court if they can do so. 23 for Lampkin leads the way, 21 for Colonel after that for North Texas. Hardaway finally goes with 7, now with 4. Duncan rotates it. Colonel forces it up. She is blocked by Weish, and a shot clock violation with 20 seconds left in the 4th overtime will give the Pirates the ball and another chance to win it.
Great defense again. I thought maybe on the play, it's too late in the clock sometimes to give it to the player. We got to give it to the player. If you're North Texas at a 5-second, I thought maybe Duncan could have taken another 3 despite the fact and try to get an offensive rebound because you want to get a clean shot up and a chance to get it. But we've seen a ton of monster defensive stands by both teams. Right there, it was ECU's turn. What a block.
Now, last time at the end of the 3rd overtime, ECU had a chance to win it. They didn't execute very well, got forced to the sideline. A late shot did not go. What does ECU need to do this time to get a better shot at the win?
Yeah, I think the 1st and the 3rd, if I remember correctly, Sham Duncan made the big stop on the 1st overtime. The biggest thing is they got to get a shot up, similar to what we just saw with North Texas. Have to get a shot up. They're going to go to McNeil, I would imagine, with a high ball screen. I would imagine North Texas is going to look to crowd and not let McNeil be the one to get a shot off. Good.
8 seconds left. McNeil still has it. It crawls off. Tip no. Rebound. Colonel, did they get the Did they get fouled? She got fouled with .2.
I mean,
wow, and North Texas somehow is going to win this game despite 3 golden opportunities for the Pirates.
I mean, good defense for a second, but almost a game winner right there. Beautiful shot. Great tip in. Almost another tip in. It's just been that close of a margin. That's just a representation of what this entire game has been. Both teams have played well enough and deserve to win this one. Hard for anyone to go home on a loss after such an effort, but just .2 on the clock. It looks like the Mean Green will close this one out.
Bobby Smith is going to see that one in her dreams, but ECU has nothing to hang their heads about tonight. Forcing 4 overtimes, only the 3rd Division I women's basketball 4-overtime game this season. And on the miss, what do we have? Now, that's the game. North Texas wins it, 93-91. A valiant effort by Danae McNeil and the Pirates, but the Mean Green go to 21-7 this season. They have tied their all-time mark for wins in a season and moved to 11-5 in conference play.
What a game on both sides. Both teams, again, deserve to be able to win this one. Only one could come out on top. North Texas, opportunity and pursuit of a conference championship is still within reach after a absolute awesome performance of just a team effort. 21 wins, 11-2 at home, program record for single season wins. This team continues to break records, John, and they did it in a 4-overtime game, emptied their complete tank, and Desiree Colonel was the queen of this one.
She'll be eating W's tonight, maybe a couple extra ones after the North Texas Mean Green go to quadruple overtime to win. We'll hear from head coach Jason Burton next. Never in the 50-year history of the UNT Coliseum, or affectionately known as the Super Pit, have they gone to 4 OTs, but they did tonight. The North Texas Mean Green take an incredibly key conference matchup from the ECU Pirates by a final score of 93-91. Welcome back courtside. I'm John Liddle, alongside Brian Burton, and of course the head coach of the North Texas Mean Green, Jason Burton. After quite a performance, Coach, what floods your mind when you think about this effort from your girls?
Just heart, man. From both teams, I just, that's a battle right there. Anytime you go into that many overtimes, I've never been a part of a 4-overtime game. Both teams battle. We got people playing plus 50 minutes. And you know, there's a lot of things going on. Fatigue setting in heavy. And so with fatigue, you know, execution, things break down, and it's really, you know, who's going to last the longest. And you know, down the stretch, it was, can you still contest those shots, and can you get rebounds? And then while you're tired, you got to be able to knock down free throws. And that was a game where we just outlasted them in that overtime period because both teams were battling. Proud of our girls for how how we stuck with it, stayed together. You know, we had a huge lead in the first half, and then, you know, ECU came out and 12-0 run to start the second half or something like that, and they cut it back, and it was a game for the next hour. Yep. 2 hours. However long we played.
How long we been here?
I don't know what time it is, but, man, we had to work to get that 21st win, man, and that 21st win is special. You know, it's a program record for wins right here, and our team just keeps making history. So incredibly proud of our team and our staff.
Yeah, so many things we could talk about. You got huge defensive stops at the end of overtime to go to the next one. Oftentimes you see a team hit a game-winning shot, and some of that was a margin of just some small tips even at the end, but You made 75% of your free throws. Just talk about the clutch performances that happened with your team.
Man, you know, ECU is so big too, and so physical, and we had to play lineups that we hadn't played all year, really. And I'm really proud of Jalen and the extended minutes that she played today. Had to play DK at the 3 a whole lot. And so, you know, it was a chess game of you know, moving pieces. And both coaches, both staffs, both teams just trying to do whatever it could to get a stop here or get a bucket here. And so, you know, the way that we were able to move around and play people at different positions, it took a lot. It took everything we had to win that game. And huge credit to my staff for continuing to just be in my ear, constantly seeing things. And it was a long game, and we found a way. And that's at this time of year, you just got to find a way.
Absolutely. It was a true conference game. How does it get your team ready for what's to come, not only over the next 2 games, but also what's to come in Fort Worth in a few weeks?
You know, we've got to be able to adapt, and we've got to be able to play different styles and different ways and different lineups, and sometimes it's on the fly, especially when you get into a conference tournament situation where people are trying to win at all costs. And you've got to be able to kind of adapt on the fly. And at the end of the day, you got to be able to get stops. And down the stretch, like you said, in regulation, and you know, it feels like every home game, the last 3 home games, we're playing down to the wire, whether it's an overtime game or whatever. I've never played this many overtime games in a season either. And so to get into 4 overtimes and still be executing and you know, those things, as you get tired in a conference tournament situation to win, when you're playing on that last day, you got to be able to outlast people. And so that's one way that this game prepares us, is you got to be able to outlast people.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Incredibly exciting effort for your ladies, and good luck the rest of the season.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. That is Jason Burton, the head coach of the North Texas Mean Green. North Texas wins it 93-91. It took 60 minutes to top ECU. So for Brian Burton and our entire ESPN crew, this is John Liddle giving you the final score one more time from the Super Pit, where North Texas tops ECU in 4 overtimes, 93-91. All games airing on the ESPN network, so streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the American Athletic Conference and ESPN.